Yes, day 4. Giant Bombs Game of the Year 2024. Folks, we've made it all the way here. I'd like to thank everyone for this wonderful journey we've had. Four lovely days of deliberating. All culminates today. We're going to crown our Game of the Year. I'm your host, Jan Ochoa. Joining me, as always, co-captain of the ship, Jeff Grubb.
Let's pick a Game of the Year.
Oh, okay. All right. Lucy James.
Let's do it.
Timur Hussein.
Let's pick 10 games.
Mike Minotti.
I want to do that too.
Jeff Grubb.
Yeah, I'm still ready to do it.
Sorry, the caffeine's just working its way in.
Yeah.
Jeff Beckler.
I would like to pick games as well. I have also in my pocket written down what I believe our 3 will be.
And we've all written down
Our
what we
top
think your
3.
Game of the Year
Yeah,
is,
we
too.
did do that.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah,
person?
yeah, we tried to guess what your one was based on how boring
And I
you
feel
are.
really good
Based
about
on how boring I am?
Yeah.
No one said that.
You said, What do you mean I'm the boring one?
And Dan Reichert.
Jollibee!
Yes, that's right. We had a lovely lunch all
It was
together.
a good pie.
It was
Yeah.
good.
Oh, God.
I had 2 pies.
I had I wasn't making anything, but I felt all of the pressure in the world. Nikki Grayson.
Hello.
And last but not least, Turbo Sean McDowell.
Peach mango pies changed my life.
They fuck.
That's really good.
dude.
Chicken sandwich is so good too. Like,
Yeah, I got
greasy
chicken
at all.
Turns out fried pastry, good.
Yes.
You made a multicultural sandwich.
I'm boring?
I didn't say you were boring.
You said based on how boring you are 40 seconds
I did not say
ago.
that. Just tell people about your sandwich.
Okay, I made a sandwich that involved all kinds of cuisine from around the world, kebabs.
Yeah.
Spaghetti and chicken, yeah.
Exciting
And
sandwich week for us.
Put chips in there.
put some chips in there,
yogurt
French
in there.
fries.
What'd you put
Gravy?
Italian in there?
Gravy.
Just attitude.
Oh, okay. Mamma mia.
He did this one.
Actually, gravy, but like real gravy, not.
Oh,
sauce.
yeah, not the. I don't like the Colin red sauce gravy thing. That's not my
Making the
people.
pinch. We're making the pinch
Making the
There you
motion.
go.
Pinch mango pie.
That's like Grandma used to make in the home country.
There we go. Thanks, Nona.
Spicy bubbles.
Olive
Folks,
Garden.
this is a season of celebrating because we're going to crown Game of the Year, but we thought we'd do a quick little Secret Santa. We drew names 2 days ago.
We drew most names.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Oh yeah, we drew most names ago. So we'll see who was the last person not drawn, and yeah, we'll figure out. Jeff Grubb, you're going to kick it off.
Okay.
So how we're going to do this?
Yeah,
You're
tell
going
me.
to give your present to your Secret Santa, and then that Secret Santa is going to give their gift unless we reach a dead end.
Okay.
All right.
Question.
Zach has. Yes.
I thought the whole point of Secret Santa was that you're not supposed to know who gives you the
You
gift.
don't know
No,
who's buying it
eventually
for
you
you.
do.
At this point, you have to learn.
Until this point.
Oh, I thought you give the gift,
There's
but
a
then
wa-
you still wonder and then you
why-
know.
That's the British, a little bit.
That's the
yeah.
British version.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Caucasian.
I want
elephant.
credit for my good gift giving. I would never agree to
All
that.
right, who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get
Oh, and
it?
then Zach has prepared a shot. If you
Yes,
could
yeah,
put it on
we'll
top
put
of
it up there.
this
We're gonna
crystal.
need to put this one up there. All right.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Can you hand this to Dan for me?
Hey, sorry, Mike. That must be a lot
Yeah, that's rough.
for you to process.
Can't believe you get me anything.
No, I got it.
Another fun thing is that we probably all
why
got
don't
these
you
from the
open this
same
for
store.
shoes?
Yeah, put it over there. Put it over there.
Okay, that means I'm not the one who didn't put my name in the bucket, right?
That's right.
Wait, are you not going to, do we?
No.
He's gonna open it. He's gonna put it on
You
the,
have to put it on the
stand.
table.
Oh, okay.
Got a camera set up.
So the person who I got
Dan,
is the
here,
person who didn't put their name in the bucket.
Yes, that's right.
All right.
Yes.
So I'm clear. Okay. Oh crap. I don't even know what it is.
Merry Christmas, Dan. You have to take it home.
It's not going on an airplane.
It has to go home with you.
It's not going on an
Explain
airplane.
what it is for the audio listeners.
Aqua Float Girls. It's an anime lady.
Statue
did a cool
thing.
Is
for
that a
perverts.
waifu?
Let me see. This is not going on an
Well,
airplane.
now you
It's
can't
going
take
on
it
an airplane
back.
with you.
Fucking
Just,
not.
you just ripped it.
Whoa.
What?
Why can't you go on
Relax.
an airplane?
Present.
This is embarrassing.
Put it in your
Bag. And you
No,
go on
why
the
do I get
airplane.
search? They're gonna think I'm a weirdo and bring me in for search.
Nobody's ever left LAX with one of these before.
Also, the shit that you've done.
Yeah, it's
is weird in your
unbelievable.
life,
This
and
is
you're
the
like,
best
"That's too far."
But this is perverted.
Oh God, you're such a weirdo.
I hate how he's handling this.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
that.
treat her with more
I think
respect
this is
than
how
that.
Wolverine
This is
opens
awesome.
presents.
Pretty good looking.
Pretty sick, dude.
If you're
Hey,
not
move
taking
the
this,
red red Solo Cup. It's ruining the composition.
Dan, if you don't take this, I will.
Okay, it's yours. It is yours.
He is taking it home, or else I'm going to be offended.
Yes, don't do that.
You're ready to be offended.
Oh, you're crazy. I would bring that on my carry-on.
Listen,
You're
when you take it home, you can throw it away, but I want you to put it in your luggage. You
That's
take it home.
awesome.
No, Backlar's got it.
Already re-gifting.
Already ruining the holiday
Dan
cheer.
Reichert hates
You're crazy.
Yeah.
And you destroyed the box
your
like
trash.
a freaking
Yeah,
animal.
that was
Take your
really
trash.
upsetting, man.
This is awesome.
All right. Hey, give me my
Thank
drink.
you, Grub.
You're welcome back, Alar.
Yeah.
At least we've had an opportunity to
This
prove
is
that
so
Jeff
hot.
Kess's Bizarre Adventure is going very well.
Dan, now you give your gift.
Oh, I've got one for Jeff Backlar.
Yeah, 2 in a row, baby.
You gotta go hold it up and explain it by this thing over here. Okay.
I'm so excited.
We don't have to explain. We can.
Well,
explain
it actually
and then put
requires
it
a little
there.
bit closer examination of this one benefits it.
I
for
have a wired
Can we
mic.
put something
so.
over
Here,
it real
use
quick?
mine. Break mine.
Oh, there we go.
Oh God. Okay. Ready? Like Indiana Jones.
Something over it?
Indiana Jones
Yeah.
swap.
Do we have like a sheet?
That was pretty good.
That was good. There we go. Yeah, yeah.
The ball.
Shit.
All right, it's in that thing.
Oh, could it be
that's-
further away?
That's a trash bag.
That's not
That's a
rubbish.
trash bag.
Oh, okay. That's the gift. This is going well.
Just put it down,
fine.
and then he
Why'd
wants
you overcomplicate it, Dan?
Okay, are you ready? Are you ready, Backlar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Approach the Deos.
Yeah, close your eyes.
Just no. You disappear.
Hey, Dan needs a mic.
I got it.
No, he
Yeah,
doesn't.
there we go.
Now examine this, show it to the camera. Get down there.
Down, down.
Is that a Goku?
Is it Goku?
But do further
Yeah, but look
examination.
what Goku does. What that Goku does.
Examination.
Yo, it's a bowl. That's it.
Dan, we were at the smoke shop last night. I walk in, I'm like, that's a Goku. And immediately Dan's like, it's $15.
Exactly $15.
Wait, so it's so here, okay. Thank
You put your
Dan.
weed in the back of his
I
head.
know how bowls work, but here's the problem that I have. This is lovely.
It's a keychain.
The problem I see with this is that there's rubber way too
Yeah.
close to where fire's gonna
Oh, that's
go.
she that little.
Look, you gotta make sacrifices.
It might be fire
What's a
resistant.
microplastic between friends?
Yeah, that's true.
It might be fire resistant.
This is really cool.
Can you describe it for the audio listeners?
Yeah, it's like a little rubber Goku, and
It's young Goku.
I don't know the difference. And
Dragon Ball
it's,
era.
it is,
It's
but
Dragon
it's
Ball era.
disguised as a Goku, but it's a real, it's a bowl for smoking weed.
And the boy is in the back of his
one.
head.
And the
Yeah.
bowl's in the back of
There's a
his
little
head,
carb up in his hair. Yeah.
Is there a card? Oh, there is a card. Look at that. That is really cool.
I don't think
Thanks,
smoking
Dan.
weed is
Of
bad for
course,
you.
I thought you'd like that.
Dan, all kidding aside, this might be the coolest thing you've ever done.
Hell yeah.
I don't think smoking weed is bad for you, but I'm just saying.
No, I mean,
Jesus, Mike.
I'll give a present now.
Thank you, Jeff.
That one hurt.
Somebody
Yes.
so now I have to do it.
Yeah, you have to get
All
the
right.
present.
So, am I just gonna put it on the?
Sure.
Give it to the person.
Give it to the person.
Because I got something for Sean.
Okay.
Close your eyes, Sean.
Okay.
$6 million.
It's a 6-foot sub.
Pass this to Sean, please. Okay, now stand up.
Now you have to stand up.
Keep your eyes closed.
Keep them closed.
Keep your eyes closed.
I would really
Put it down to your side. Put it down to your side.
Put it
Put it down to your
behind
side.
your back. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay.
we could
Okay.
just we could look at the president and then put it on the pedestal.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole idea.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Y'all right?
Yeah, you're good.
Hey! All the listeners get to hear what it's
It's
about.
a little stuffed Kirby.
What did he graduate from?
Law
Game of the year.
school because he has these.
No,
skills,
you.
Justin.
It's your
Me?
graduation
Yeah.
present.
Damn, I finished college. I dropped out so
You
long
finished
ago.
Game of the Year.
There you go.
I would have thought that joining Giant Bomb would mean you finished.
That's really good.
Damn,
That's really
benefits
cute. I
are
like
good
that one.
around here.
Cute.
Happy Hanukkah, Sean.
I like it. Thank you. Thank you, Jerry.
There he
Wow, well
is.
done. Well done.
Hey.
All right, now my turn.
Corby.
So far, the circle hasn't been broken.
It has not.
Oh.
That's about to change.
Who gets this one
Wow.
there?
The circle beyond
Broken.
by my Lord.
Tam.
Okay, let's go.
$15, you know, it's gonna be a little chintzy.
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
I think I've done good. I think
Okay,
you're gonna like
I'm
this
excited.
one. Cause I didn't just
Pass it.
Starting to worry my
Fuck off,
name
Mike.
didn't get
This isn't
back
your
in the
moment.
bucket.
I didn't just buy you something. I made you something.
What? Why did you have
It's
time
a
to do
poopy.
that?
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Did you? He said it was poop.
Put my hands on this and get it out without. Okay, looking at it.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God! It's a Gengar.
That's incredible.
Oh, you bought the
It's a Lego Gengar. There's a little stand in there too. if
The
he's
best
not paying
Pokemon.
That's very good.
Oh, look at that.
This is fantastic. Genuinely brilliant.
Nice.
I just redid my desk, and there's a spot for him right there.
And you could smoke out of him too.
What's a little plastic between friends?
My present is for Jeffy Grub Grub.
I'm just real excited when your name got back in the bucket.
Yeah, nice.
All right, so some explanation. Obviously, we all went to Maneki Neko, which means the kind of scope of what we can get texture-wise is limited. So it might not fit. So this is a physical present and also potentially
It's got DLC.
an emotional present. Because
Emotional present?
you can either keep this for yourself and enjoy whatever it is, or you can treat it as the gift of giving and give it to other people, and potentially make them happy. So my gift to you is the ability to make others happy.
That's fantastic.
You gave the gift of gifting.
And it's also the most hypocritical gift I've ever bought.
Oh.
I have no idea.
I think I know.
Look at his face. His face is gleaming.
It's a pack of Arcanas and Pokemon cards. And Merry Christmas. Oh, I really got chills. Thanks, man.
Yeah, that is what you did for me.
Oh, so we broke the circle.
So
We
now,
broke the circle, so
now we
just-
go to you, I guess, Jen?
Yeah, Jen, you have a gift.
Work
Okay.
around?
I'm kind of sad I didn't get you anything to take back.
I have enough stuff. Please, that was awesome. Thank
So
you.
this is just like placeholder gift
Placeholder.
because I couldn't find something at the shop yesterday, and the smoke shop was not open at 9 a.m. like they said. So I will add the 15 allotted, and maybe another 15, because this person is an award winner.
Oh, it's me. Thanks.
Okay.
What the fuck? Is it the Webby? It's the Webby!
Nikki won a Webby.
I am taking this.
No, you can't.
No, I feel like
No one's
Nikki
gonna
will.
notice.
I will take it. How are they gonna know?
Yeah, they wouldn't know.
That's fine.
That'd be sick if you did.
That's
that.
good. I didn't know.
Is it actually spring?
Yeah.
Oh, that's real. I played with the Webby already.
Thanks, Jen.
Getting really worried that my name was the one that wasn't in there, but we'll see.
Okay, that means it's my turn.
Yes.
I think I had the hardest person here. I don't know this person very well. We've never spoken before. I don't really know what this person likes, what they're into, the kinds of things that they do in their free time, the things that they talk about. So I got a gift from Mike Minotti. I think. Oh wait, no, it wasn't me.
Such a maniac.
I didn't put my name in the hole. I just got.
Oh! So one of these
It's a
Mickey
blind box.
Okay, let's see what's in it though.
Rocky Mouse.
Yeah, so it's one of these
Here,
blind
let me hold
boxes.
your mic for you.
Okay. Now, I'm not saying that there's one I'm going to be most excited to get, but Scrooge McDuck is a possibility here.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite Disney character. They're all going to be good. They will all be good. But we got... Oh, there's more?
Oh,
Oh, that's a good sound. Ah. Oh, we're popping them packs.
Is it a good sound, Ash? Yeah, Ash says yes.
Look at this guy. Could he be happy?
He's the Goku of Disney.
Thank you, Nikki.
Wow.
Really hard person to hide for.
Yeah, I know. It was really tough.
I was thinking as I walked there, I was like, I would like this, I would like that.
I had many options.
Yeah.
I had Lucy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
When you went up to that, I was like,
Snoopy.
Nice plush of Snoopy.
That's a really good one. It's a good one. Oh, I love it. Which means I had the person whose name wasn't in the bucket.
so excited.
Jan.
Jan.
As soon as they asked yesterday, you were like,
I said, did you put your own name in there? And you went, yeah.
Yeah, no, I could tell the way he said it.
Yeah, that's weird, Jan. But it's okay.
Jan,
You were
you
doing the
got two
game.
things.
Whatever.
Well, just because
You
I was
ran the
under the
game.
15. So what the flat thing is the second gift.
okay, okay.
No, it's the first gift because it's the worst one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Face mask?
You got a retinol face mask. Let's go. Oh,
That's
damn.
fantastic.
Better use this tonight.
And
Kill
then
your headache.
this one, why do you think I picked this?
Oh, the beanie.
I think this is just me. There we go.
What is it exactly?
It's like a little collectible. It's like a blind box.
Is that like not programmed?
Kind of looks like Jen.
It looks a lot like Jen.
It looks so much like you. It's wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
And literally, we were in a different shop because we were waiting for all of you, and I walked in and I picked it up and I was like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
And then I put it back down and I just went, no, I can't get the first thing I saw. I will get it.
That's awesome. So now
All
it's just like, which red beanie are you going to get?
All right, Beckler, pack the bowl. Let's go.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, look at this little guy. Look at him.
What'd you get?
Oh, it's like a tiny Terry pose almost.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Wait.
Nothing better than a figurine.
There we go. Oh, look at
We
that.
all need more of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tam, did you see the little stand that's supposed to be in your bag?
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Can we just circle back how this motherfucker freaked out about his gift? Can we just like talk about that again?
Sex toy onto a plate.
It's not a sex toy.
It's an anime sex toy.
Where's the box? I want to protect it.
I was under the impression you would have to take it home, and now it just feels like I'm being cheated out of my present.
You're taking the present
I'm
out
gonna
of
get
his
arrested.
hand.
I'm not doing that.
Arrested. What do you think is going to happen?
I'm unsure you know what's illegal and what isn't.
Blatant sex toys. Putting onto your luggage.
You told us stories about committing fraud and like.
Also, you could have an entire suitcase filled with dildos, and no one's going to stop you.
Do you know
unless you
what
go
a
to
sex toy
Thailand.
is?
Okay.
Well, it's
That
no, that's not what a sex
No,
toy
that's
is.
wrong.
A sex toy is something you whack off with.
Oh, I see. I don't know. She's got that
All
little tube
right.
thing.
All right. Now that everyone feels great, let's all tear each other apart by telling everyone that their game choices suck. Let's get to Game of the Year, the top 10. We're going to do it differently this year because Sean pointed it out. We like each other too much. Right? We got to add some beef
Spice it up.
to this mix. And also, since we're not doing this in front of a live crowd or a live internet studio audience, we're not going to do Eurovision. So we're going to do this. We're going to get down and dirty.
That was the big one. I was like, people kind of want to see an old-fashioned top 10, and you know what? We have the capacity to do it this year, so why not?
Yeah. So we're going to go around in a circle, one by one, name a game. That's going to go on the list for now. And then we'll eventually start cutting.
Oh, right.
Rob, would you say 2-3 rounds?
Probably 2.5 rounds, because we'll see how we start peter down. If people don't have anything after 2.5 rounds,
Okay.
then we'll figure it out. But people have a couple are like, actually, I have like 3 more. At that point, we can just throw them all on.
And Nikki is the arbiter of the dog.
I am the computer.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Jeff Grout. You know what? Ladies first.
Yeah.
Lucy James.
Rise of the Golden Idol.
So when we do this like first one, is it like your dark horse or it's like your
I'm just
obvious?
I was just picking one that like
Whatever you want to
yeah.
make sure is on the list,
Because
however you
we'll
want to approach
talk
it.
all this out, so you know,
Got
if you
it.
just want to talk about
Sure.
the game.
Yes, Nikki, you go ahead.
Nikki from
Can I
Giant
have
Bomb.
edit access?
Wait, haven't you been editing it?
Yeah, what are you doing?
That's different.
I don't have edit access on this
Yeah, it
sheet.
says viewer. My bad. Look at that. All right, now everyone should be an editor. You might have to refresh.
you.
I love this little guy, Lucy. Look at him. It's like me.
Oh, he looks like he belongs in Thank Goodness You're Here.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
it
he
looks
does,
thank
actually.
goodness you're here coded.
What's what did he have with him? Flat like a. I did look for some coffee or something, but
I appreciate you. Tam.
One out of game.
Game.
I was like just thinking about Gengar. Legacy of Kain.
Oh,
Wow. Bold.
Mike.
Just like you.
Metaphor Refantasio.
It's a bold pick, but metaphor.
Oh, I gotta find my list. Jeff Backler.
Lorelai and the
Yes.
Laser.
Oh.
Okay.
Dan.
Wild bastards.
Wild.
Shut up.
What?
I'm kidding.
Oh, we're already fighting.
Great game.
We're Dan and I are always.
Nikki, whenever you're ready.
Tofu.
You know what? Fucking, I can do what I want.
Do what you want.
Content warning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it updating very slowly, or is it just me?
I think it looks
Updates
like
really slowly on
looks like we're
mobile.
updating the other dock instead. I can't tell.
No, I'm doing both, man.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
you want me to get handle one?
No.
You're doing both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should just go.
All right.
to Doc then.
Whose turn is it?
Sean.
Persona 3 Reload.
Okay.
Jennifer.
Silent Hill 2.
It's a good choice.
Jeff Grubb.
Let's go with Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Shall we do Serpentine?
Yeah.
Snake background.
Yeah, sure. Let's see here. Well, then Astrobot.
Okay.
Okay. Astrobot.
1000X Resist.
Tekken 8.
Hold the fucking.
Okay.
Oh, because Prince of Persia is the longest title
Yeah.
ever.
TLC.
What did you say? Tekken 8?
Tekken 8 and
the
1000
Ocho.
Resist.
Subway Surfers. Okay. to Tekken 8, 1000X Resist. And my turn? Ooh, give me Thank Goodness You're Here.
Sure, you can have it.
Mini Shoot Adventures.
Jeff Backlar, whenever you're ready.
Animal Well.
Oh.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Okay.
We'll see how this one goes. Might have to define some rules here. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree.
Yeah, we got to define some rules, Tam.
Yeah, that's a video game, so it can go on a game of
No,
your
it's
list.
not a video game. It's an add-on for a video game.
Oh, God. We're
What are
gonna
you
die
talking
in
about?
this
It's not a
hill.
video game?
It's not.
All right.
Show me where I can launch Shadow of the Erdtree on my
But it's a video
console
game.
and jump right into it and experience the video game.
I don't. Why is that a distinction that matters?
Because it's an add-on to a video game, so we need to define this.
But and then you play it as a video game.
You play Elden Ring.
Are we deciding what is a video game or what is the best video game experience you had
I
this
don't
year?
think this is a distinction worth having. It's not.
Yeah, it's not like
It's just
we're
not.
trying to say what is the best video game experience that you can have this year. We're
talking.
debating that, but
We're just
for like
talking here.
millions and millions of people, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is viable. Like people have played Elden Ring, available out there. They could buy it, they could play it. Some people could buy Elden Ring now and decide, oh, I've heard this Erdtree game is real good. I'm gonna play it, see how I get there. Ultimately, it's a game that was released this year. And like saying, oh, it's not a game because it's not on a disc, or I can't put a disc in and have that version of it work, or click an executable, it diminishes all the work that it's done. Are we saying that if I don't have an executable, the developers that worked on that do not get recognition?
So if I want to
Unless-
play, as someone look, I'm not an Elden Ring guy.
Yeah.
I'm actually asking here, can I just play Shadow of the Erdtree right now, right here, right now?
No, you ain't got no PC or anything.
Well, if I had a machine that could theoretically play Elden Ring, can I just play Shadow of the Erdtree and nothing else?
No.
Not without playing Elden Ring.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
getting
but like
at.
I don't care about that.
what I'm saying
It
is,
doesn't matter.
does that
There's no
mean
effect on. I don't feel anything with that.
If that's the thing, you're disqualified unless you can actively play it immediately.
Yes.
Why should all the work and all the effort that goes into making that thing be disqualified from a list that is designed to recognize the effort and work of a video game experience created this year? It is like a arbitrary bullshit.
It's arbitrary.
It's a very annoying gamer thing. No, I'm not saying you're annoying.
It's
an annoying
people are going to
gamer
want us to have this conversation. So
It's an annoying gamer conversation that feels like it's designed to just get people bogged
it's
down
also
in
old
technicalities.
because like games are going the way we're going to access games going forward is going to change. The kids go
Yeah,
play
exactly.
Roblox and they play a little game inside of Roblox, and that's a video game. It's a video game if you can play it as a video game. I don't care where it exists.
Every year we could nominate Fortnite for this
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Because it becomes like a new
Yeah.
game.
I know someone that did. Yeah, of course.
And I think I also think that's completely fine because it's a video game and they had new stuff this year.
Yeah, that's like a 50-hour. Like this is longer than most of the games on this list.
Yeah,
There's so
exactly.
much that goes into this, and it is pretty self-contained too. Like yes, you have to launch it through Elden Ring, but like once you go into that
you're in it,
area, it's
yeah.
like well, here's
It's
a whole new game
map.
inside of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And let's be honest. We were just doing this so that Nikki could catch up typing out all.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I appreciate all
Nikki
of
got a
Anything
break.
for you.
There you go.
This is tangential conversation, but it's also the same thing that I have with Hades 2.
Hades 2 is a video game.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's the thing of talking about the same video game, the same package, the same release from a developer, multiple years.
I have no issues with talking about Hades 2 for this year.
I know, no. But the thing is, what if we all love Hades 2 when it's a 1.0? We just have to like agree how much we can talk about the, because it is a single release. Like if you want to discuss it for the merits that it brings to the table, I'm totally cool with that. We just need to define it because just like with Hades 2, I see it in the same boat where are we going to say like this game is eligible for a top 10 on multiple years? It
might just work
weird
out. It might work out that way, and it's just not the end of the world.
I mean, like
It's not.
There's no
I
rule.
feel like-
I feel like we get there, and if I had to predict it, and we're playing 1.0, and we're having a discussion, we would say Hades was discussed last year. Is everything
got
that
its
has
flowers.
happened this year meaningfully different enough?
And if it
to
is, we
warrant
have that
it
conversation.
Reassessing it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting at here is that, okay, so then we just need to broaden the definition a little bit to say like best video game experience. Like, yeah, we're saying best game of the year or whatever. But
yeah, exactly. That's what we're trying. The spirit of it
Okay.
is, and I think that's a lot of why it's so frustrating to see it. People just look at the words and they're like, it doesn't count because it's not. It wasn't a game release this year.
And I just, it's just if it's a video game I played
It's
this
like,
year.
How
I'm at
many
that point.
millions of people play that game and talk so much about it? How many thousands of developers spend all that time? And we're not like, big time in the way that it's going to change their lives, but it still means
People
that
care about it.
People
Yeah.
care. Like some people will consume our content, and if we say, "Hey, this is one of the best games of the year," there's a decent chance a few people out there will go, "I'm going to go and play this because Giant Bomb said it was good." And to exclude a game like Elden Ring or Hades just because it's a technicality, I feel like undermines everything that gaming is about.
It's just less fun.
And that's why I wanted to have the conversation because it is a fact. Shadow of the Archery is not a video game in the traditional sense, but it's our list. We can do whatever hell we want.
Yeah.
And if you guys feel passionately enough about it, we can expand that definition. I just want on the record that we are doing that, and hey, that's awesome, right?
Yep, sounds good.
That's good.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, cool. We got it out of the way there.
Yep, thank you.
Indica.
Ooh, how was that?
Amazing.
Like
It's
spelled like
good,
the
right?
weed? Okay.
It was good.
Okay. Thank you.
Jam, would I like Indica?
Yeah.
You'd love Indica.
I've played the wrong shit this year, I think.
Lucy, one more. Let's go back one more time.
Yep.
Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess.
Know what you just said.
Sugami, colon, rise, path of the goddess.
Tam.
Batman Arkham Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Can I
I wrote it on my list as Batman Arkham Knight.
Yeah, it happens.
All right, we can put that on there.
Mikey.
Arzette Jewel Faramore.
You just made that up. That's not a real game.
Whoa, never meant to break.
Back
Every time I
are.
hear.
Mullet Mad Jack.
Okay. Danny boy, whenever you're ready.
Can I fly in really fast?
Yeah, no, of course.
Wait, sorry, what did you say?
Mullet Magic.
Mullet Mad Jack. Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, we're typing down Mullet Magic right now. We're waiting for.
Okay.
Okay.
Dan.
And we'll fight for the little guy. Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Very brave of you.
Yeah.
Y'all really gotta fucking come on this journey with me, everybody.
Oh,
okay?
I'm excited.
And if the three of you fuck up, then I think we still have to maybe go around one more time.
fuck up?
No pressure. I'm going to say college football 25.
Okay. I'm good.
Which I think is, I'll talk about it. but
That's totally
yeah.
fair. That's totally fair.
I went to college.
Yeah.
You did.
I've seen one.
You have a degree.
5.5 years of it, yeah.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, sweet.
You went to college for 5.5 years?
Yeah, you just got to watch movies for a long time.
Yeah, that history minor.
I do have that history minor, yeah. I didn't actually watch the movie.
Learn about that Roman
That's
Empire.
okay. This seems overrated.
Sean.
Stellar Blade.
Stellar.
We have Balatro on there.
No. I think everyone just assumed it was
I was talking about.
There's no hard like.
This is not in any way.
Right. Maybe we'll just get through this.
Just put Balatro on there.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
That's what I was gonna.
And Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I was going to say Indiana Jones, so
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
mine. Yeah, there you
Okay.
go.
Tactical Breach Wizards.
I'll do Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is there anything, Grub?
Just for Grub.
I just did one. I did two, actually. So
There's definitely some obvious ones we got to put on.
Grub, I was going to say, is there anything that has already won a category that we also haven't awarded?
yeah, let's take a look here. So there's Hades 2. Is Hades 2 on there? Does anyone? Okay.
I'll put it, yeah.
Frostpunk 2. That was one that I think we kind of gave its oppressive game specifically, so we would.
Yeah, I don't know if it really needs to be super considered.
Steam World Heist 2.
Steam World Heist 2. Yeah, there you go.
UFO 50.
Yeah.
Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
I have a couple. Ete. ETE. A Ranger was cute.
Oh, I like the Ranger a lot.
Still Wakes the Deep. Little Kitty Big City.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Not gonna allow that.
Another,
I got it down
another
here
Crab's
somewhere.
Treasure.
Oh yeah.
Was Botany Manor this year?
Yep.
That was
was.
great. Tales of Kanzera Zao. Children of the Sun.
Yeah. Yes.
That's on my
it's
list.
good.
Yes.
Suicide Squad killed Justice League.
Yes. Yeah, no.
Oh, no.
Wait, sorry. What was the one that y'all?
Still Wakes the Deep. You didn't
Wakes the
have there.
Deep.
Children of the Sun.
No, Children of the Sun.
And Children of the Sun.
There was Pepper Grinder as well. Okay.
Helldivers 2.
Do we want Persona 3 Reload on there?
It's on there.
It's on.
I do want Thousand Year Door on there. I don't think that's on there yet. Paper
Wait,
Mario.
Nikki, I think you're missing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get them.
We're gonna bring that
It's
rapid fire
going.
there a little.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's okay.
I liked Farewell North. It was a cute.
Zelda.
Yeah, it goes to wisdom. We can have a conversation.
Marvel Rivals.
Oh,
Oh, right. Yeah. Shit.
All right.
Buckshot Roulette.
Oh, that game is
Came out
fucking
last
good.
year.
Oh, did it?
It did. Yeah, it was out for
That's
a while.
fair. I
and
think I
then
might
came
have
to Steam
discovered it. Yeah, this year. Yeah.
okay. Currently, we're standing at 48 games.
Okay.
Damn.
Maybe we do a soft cap at 50.
50? Yeah.
If we want to add more, we'll do that later. After we start cutting
Is
some
Silent
games.
Hill on there?
Yeah.
Silent Hill's on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, Silent Hill's on there.
Wait, Tales of Kanzera's on there twice.
That was a go.
Mike, should we do Sonic Shadow Generations?
Oh, I mean, we don't have to.
Just throwing it. I'm just
I like
put
that.
it on
If you
there.
want to talk about it, sure. Sonic Shadow Generations. Especially just because Sega is doing so good.
Yeah, I think there's some obvious ones that we can just talk about and say our piece, and then it gets
Sure.
immediately.
Yeah,
but that's what
I mean,
this
if we're
is
doing
for.
that, I don't know if I really need to do it for a compilation like Marvel vs. Capcom. Boy, I should.
I think we've
Well, we
passed
did.
our piece
You
on
got
that.
Legacy of Kain on there. Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom.
All right.
Oh, one more for me. Tetris Forever.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay. Thank you, Nikki.
Yeah, Capcom,
Marvel vs. Capcom fighting.
Marvel
I feel like-
versus Capcom.
Fighting collection.
I feel like we should add this game. It's not one I personally want on there, but I know that if we don't add it or speak about it, there's going to be a lot of like
Well, just say it.
upset people. Black Myth Wukong.
Oh, I never played it. That's
didn't play
I
it.
didn't play it either.
I
Bounced
feel
off
yeah.
it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I
Sean
did
bounced off
play
it. He
it.
said, okay, all right.
What did you say?
I fell off hard on that game.
I mean, yeah, I'm not a super fan of it, but I think acknowledging it and
Yeah.
saying like,
Hey, I didn't
it
play
didn't
it.
work
I
for
have
any
no
of us,
opinion on it.
or
Yep.
or like no one played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play it.
Yeah, I didn't like it that much,
Yeah.
so it wasn't on anywhere.
That's one of those, we just, nothing we could do about that.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, but if we didn't say something about it, they would be like,
I'm glad
"Oh,
you did.
My closest exposure was watching a video of Bailey get a concussion from a monkey
Yes.
Yeah.
while playing this game.
Who's among us? In this very room.
Yes, on this couch.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
For shoot. Yeah.
Is it? Can I read the whole, all of them, and then if
Yeah, you go for
Yeah.
it, Nikki.
Rise of the Golden Idol, Legacy of Kain, Metaphor Refantasio, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Wild Bastards, Content Warning, Persona 3 Reload, Silent Hill 2, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Astrobot, Tekken 8, 1000 Times Resist, Thank Goodness You're Here, Mini Shoot Adventures, Animal Well, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erd Tree, Indica, Kunitsugami: Path of the Goddess, Batman Arkham Shadow, Arzette, Jewel of, I wrote down Faramore, is that correct?
That's right.
Let's go.
Mullet Mad Jack, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, College Football 25, Balatro, Stellar Blade, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Tactical Breach Wizards, Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip, back-to-back hard words to say, Hades 2, Helldivers 2, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, UFO 50, Ete, Still Wakes the Deep, Little Kitty Big City, Arranger, Another Crab's Treasure, Tales of Kenzera Zhao, Suicide Squad, Killed the Justice League, Children of the Sun, Sonic and Shadow Generations, Pepper Grinder, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Farewell North, The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, Tetris Forever, Marvel Rivals, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, and Black Myth Wukong. Congratulations, you're all Game of the Year.
Yay.
All right.
Space Marine 2, please.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think we had TCG Pocket on there either.
Pocket Monsters.
I'll do a quick add and remove too, because Zenless Zone Zero, a game I was really looking forward to. Love the style. That game is way too shallow to be anywhere near this list.
On that note, I will say Echo Point Nova, just saying the name out loud, but it's not going to be anywhere near.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fun time, but
I really like it, but
maybe
not top
Yeah,
10.
fair,
Okay.
fair.
Now that we've thrown a bunch of stuff onto the list, is there anything you want to immediately remove from the list?
Yeah, can I talk about college football?
Please.
And so we can take it off. I don't think that there has been a game that has like broken out into the regular people, like people who do not play video games were like, oh, it's time for me to go buy a PlayStation 5 now.
Yeah.
It's the best-selling game of the year.
Yeah.
And that has not been something other than Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto or a Rockstar game in decades.
Decades,
It was
right?
what?
College
It's the
football.
best-selling game of the year.
The best-selling game
In the
of
United
the year.
States. In the United States.
College football.
It's
Yeah.
EA Sports College
Unbelievable.
Football 25.
Wow.
And
Nick,
by a
you're right.
mile.
It's like
Really?
we got a physical therapist I've seen for a couple years, and like he knows what I do, and he never asks anything about video games.
Yeah.
And then he just excitedly
Yeah.
told me, a couple months ago, he was like, "Oh, I'm getting a PS5. I got new college football." Like that,
Yeah.
absolutely
It
is like a mainstream.
mainstream
Don't you remember when it came out? We were like, we should totally like
do a whole season.
Yeah, we were saying like we should do something with it because the same thing happened to me. Like all my normie friends were like,
Oh yeah.
I care again.
Yeah. And I think like as a return to this franchise, I think they did a lot of things right. I think there's a lot of stuff that is not right, but that is endemic, not to the game or that team, but it is endemic to the fact that they have to make a video game using a football video game in Frostbite still. But I don't think that there is a team that does presentation in a sports game better than EA Sports, especially in this college football situation. So great game, great return to form. Hopefully next year the football is better in it. But just wanted to talk about it because I do think it was huge. It was just big.
I want to nominate something and then immediately take it down because we didn't add it to the little list. Can we call the littler list the spoon?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yes, thank you for reminding me.
Until then, it was a visual novel game made from folks in the Philippines. Lot of imagery straight from the islands. Made me feel like I was back home. Definitely a year where I played a lot of games that have made me have an existential and emotional crisis. So that was fun. It was cool. I don't think it has enough juice to make it onto everything. I just wanted to shout it out.
It has been shouted.
All right, should we go? Do we want to go around in order and take stuff off, or challenge to be taken off, or do we want to like maybe? Because we have a big list, and then we have a space here where we could start maybe in like here's ones that we think are locks.
Yeah.
Does anyone have some that they added that they just want to talk about and then
Yeah.
Just to
take
knock off.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Yeah.
Because you are more familiar with
That's a
what
good
you
way to
added.
take them down. Yeah.
I think we can take out Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I wanted to add Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection because it is such a good collection. I was so happy with that. Ultimately, it's a collection, right?
Yeah.
So I would rather give a shout out to original games here, but still was so happy with that. It was something I played a ton of. Really glad we got it.
Same. And,
I was joking about adding Suicide Squad.
What?
I've already moved that to the
no, it's-
column I've called Locked Spoon.
Yeah.
Lock spoon.
Sorry.
But I can take it off if you would like.
Whoa, no, not
make spoon the lock spoon. We could make that like the finalized
Okay.
list over there.
Speaking of collections, Pokemon TCG Pocket is more of a collection app, and I think it suffers because of it. Definitely that's why a lot of people love it. They like opening the pack and seeing what they got. The actual playing the game in there is diminished, I think. I'm not a fan of some of the things they did to simplify the card game, and I think it suffers because of it. So it's a fun time. It's something that's sort of like a daily routine thing for a lot of us, but I don't think it belongs on the list.
I think the problem with simplifying it, they still haven't figured out how to make the actual matches small or shorter.
No, they're so, like, actually frustratingly long.
They are so much shorter than a standard TCG.
No, for sure, and I still think they're too long.
They're not
to do
short
on the
enough
telephone.
on.
We got Marvel Snap.
Marvel
Build,
Snap,
right?
exactly. Like, and also it's a really small.
I do think that's perception though, because you shouldn't compare it to Snap. You should compare it to Hearthstone. Is what I think.
I see.
And I think it is in the realm of a Hearthstone.
Okay,
sure.
But again, just not on this
for
list.
sure.
Yeah.
Did anyone like Pacific Drive?
I didn't
for
play
like a
enough.
minute.
I liked it.
I didn't play enough of it.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
For a minute. I'm glad
take-
you said it though.
Give it a little mention.
The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom is a game that really grew on me in a way that I didn't think it would when I first started playing it. Was like, not sure. It's got a lot of cool stuff. I really like when we were breaking it in a variety of ways. That's like my kind of stuff. It's not going to make this top 10. I don't even know if it's going to make my top 10.
Yeah, it's either like 10 or 11 on mine. I
Yeah.
think. I like the idea of like, oh wow, we're doing a mainline Zelda game that is like willing to try something different with a different character, things like that. So I appreciate it. I'd like to see more stuff like it, but I don't think this one like knocked it out.
Strong idea game.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good translation of the newfound freedom that they found with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom into the other format of Zelda. That
Smart expression of
very
similar
clever,
ideas.
yeah.
Yes.
When you said you have, it's like you're 11 or 12. Is that what you said?
I'm looking at it right now. It's probably like 10 or 11 for me.
How many games do you list a year for yourself?
We do top 10 lists.
I understand, but you said, but do you do like 20 for yourself?
Well, he just wasn't like he's got as many games as he played.
No,
right?
I understand. I just wonder if like you have like your personal ranking of like everything you've played all year.
Oh yeah, as I beat games, I put it on a dock and then I
that's
kind of
cool.
shift them around as I play them. Yeah.
All right, I was just asking.
I tend to do that too, so yeah.
Yeah, but I think people always assume I'm looking for a way to make fun of you, but no.
Understandably.
Get something in while you're at it.
Why are you attacking Dan?
Thank you for the gift.
I liked Ete. It's a very beautiful game about creating art in Montreal. I just don't think it's enough to stand in the top 10.
No,
But
I agree.
yeah,
Cool game.
lovely though.
We can remove Tactical Breach Wizards.
No, it's a good game though.
I don't think it's going to make it onto the spoon to top 10 because it's
no.
such a packed year. It's definitely high up on my personal top 10 list. It's a very sharp, very smart tactics game, very witty. There's a specific quest where your healer, this is spoilers, but you've got this far, so whatever. Don't be mad. Where your healer character isn't really a healer. She can resurrect people by shooting them and killing them. So she goes on this sequence where to avoid the big bad, she shoots herself. So she winds up in a limbo world where she has to constantly revive a dead version of herself. You just have to move her along the way. It's really smart. It's really cool. If you want the challenge of like a really tough tactics game, it gets up there. If you want to like pull back and skip all the story, just do straight up missions. It's really good. Also, maybe we should have more tactical shooters with wizards.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe we should defenestrate people more.
100%.
Always thinking that.
And I'll defenestrate Tactical Breach Wizards.
Out the window with you.
Is anyone but me into Wild Bastards?
I didn't play.
I didn't play it.
I saw what you liked about it, and I couldn't get there myself.
Okay. I really, really enjoyed it. Thought it was
Yeah.
an excellent Steam Deck game and a real cool roguelite approach. But yeah, we can take it off.
That was a sequel, right?
Sequel to
It's a spiritual
follow-up to Void Bastards.
follow-up.
Yeah.
I'm good to kill content warning also. I just wanted to mention.
I don't know. Sure.
Interesting.
I feel like that does feel like a Giant Bomb number 10. Maybe.
Okay, huge.
But so does Tiny Terry's, and you're with me on that.
And I'm with you on that,
I'm with
right?
you on
So
that
like,
too, yeah.
Okay, so let's let those two hang around.
okay,
I'm so confident that they could be like top 20 that like doing it right now.
now
is, like,
seems early.
Seems a little early.
Yeah,
Great.
it seems way too early.
Oh, what a fun little! I put my toe in, and then the water said, "No, not yet." And I said, "Okay."
Hey, I'm too cold. Come back later.
Yeah, put it on the spoon, Nikki.
Okay.
I could lose Farewell North. I mean, I think it's a very sweet game. It's a game about grief. I think the overall message is the thing that I took away from it, rather than like the moment to moment.
Sure.
But get a little dog. Plays a little.
That's the
dog.
one with the border collie?
Yeah. Are we gonna put Helldivers 2 on the top 10?
That's an interesting one because it is obviously a very good quality game.
Game I like a lot.
Anyone here gonna be like, I think it's I
I
want.
would like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Too. Not on my top 10.
I don't know if it'll be in my top.
Yeah, it's probably not on my top 10, but I
Okay,
feel like
these three are saying, I was going to say I
Yeah.
could see it there, but I wouldn't fight
Those
for
are
it
the
there.
three probably biggest advocates. saying
Right,
this.
sure, yeah.
And I really do
And
like
again,
it
it's
a lot.
our list, so
Yes.
if it's not representative of us, it doesn't matter how.
Did we put it in the top 3 for games we like to stream?
Maybe.
I think it didn't make it.
No, I didn't make it.
No.
Forget. Maybe it
It's
did. I
it's
can't
still
remember.
really good. It's a good game.
There's no way to know either.
Yeah, it's impossible.
I would like to move Infinite Wealth onto the spoon.
Yeah.
Oh, we're moving things in a spoon now.
Yeah, we're kind
So
of.
how much? How many are in the spoon?
Yeah. Because then the little spoon is getting cleared up.
How much space in the next spoon? I'm sorry.
We're going to probably have around 20-ish.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
this
yeah.
is just
Maybe
next
25.
Spoon's
round.
getting smaller, yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
Spoons will get
but
smaller.
still enough for a mouthful.
Well, I mean, I was going to say like, things like
We don't know what the metaphor
and
is anymore,
indie.
Mike.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
fantastic.
Nikki moved over Balatro, Astrobot, and Metaphor. Should probably
Prince of
move
Persia.
over Indie.
In Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have a conversation. Indy's not going to get cut here.
No.
No.
I think we'll be talking about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it.
don't think so, Jay?
It seems like Sean and I. So Sean really likes it, and I really, really like it.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people are like,
Tam liked it
me.
until the end, right?
Yeah, he played some issues throughout.
I wouldn't say I liked it until a certain point.
Okay.
I would say over the course of playing the entire game, flaws emerged continuously
That's
in
right.
different parts
Yeah,
of it,
review now,
and it
yeah.
all culminated in a
Yeah.
poorly paced ending.
I would say for me, like I get where people are seeing flaws. None of that felt that way to me. I really enjoyed the pacing of the game. I thought there was a good mix between these larger combat sections, the story-focused section, and the goofs. And the goofs include things like the mini games. And sometimes, yeah, you have to do them, and that's this 10-minute thing that you do, and it's kind of a fun, wacky thing. And I enjoyed that break. You know, the end is the end. It's more than anything, whether it's good or bad, it's a lot, and I think that's where it loses me a bit.
Yeah.
It's always hard to have that at the end because that's the last impression you leave with people, so it becomes this big talking point. But for me, I kind of am able to put it to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it
Right.
I have
doesn't.
no issues with the ending.
Yeah, it doesn't really match up to like overall feelings of just how memorable and how much fun. And again, like that battle system is
Amazing.
so freaking good. Each character has their own unique things going on there.
Yeah.
They added a lot of depth to it with so many more playable characters. I care about Kate Sith now, right? No one cared about Kate Sith in the original Final
Not
Fantasy.
to that level, at least. No.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So
Thank you.
Yeah, that's just my. That's why it's one of my favorites for the year. But if a lot of people don't feel that way.
I think it makes it to the next spoon.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
think
was
it
going to
just
say,
makes
as
it a little
someone
spoon.
who's never played the original, I found it Rebirth to be utterly tedious. I think it's one of the worst paced games I've ever played.
Do you mean that for main quest too, like
Yeah.
the main storyline? Okay, interesting. Because
And
I thought that was good, but
And you
both over
I
there.
like the
think,
original.
say-
like remake.
Okay.
I liked Remake, but this one I was
Yeah.
just like,
Oh yeah, remake I like more than Rebirth
Yeah, same.
personally because it is brisk.
Yeah.
But, okay.
I think I do like Rebirth because I just love the expansiveness of it. I love that I am playing a JRPG again where I can actually wander around, right? It's like the closest we got to actually translating a JRPG like overworld into a real 3D space.
Yeah, it's funny. The overworld stuff and the mini games, like the stuff I hear people complain about, like those are easily my favorite parts of it, and that's what makes me like it more than remake. And also, there's more variety in just the environments and everything. I feel like remake was all that Midgar at night type stuff, and I liked the openness of
It's a lot
Rebirth.
of the same visuals in Midgar, so it can get a little tiring.
Yeah.
I really like the overworld stuff.
Yeah.
And like I thought it contextualized the menial, annoying overworld or open world activities that everyone uses in all their games in an interesting way that made me care about. And it feeds into the whole like live stream and
Yeah.
connecting with the planet as well. I thought that was really, really cool. And the mini games on them as they are, I don't have an issue with playing them.
Sure.
I have an issue with how they spread out, when they're added, and the kind of where they're placed tonally is pretty poor for me. And then the fact that every part of it is modernized, which is really, really cool. They looked at a game and they kind of took the rough edges and smoothed them down to be modern and cool, except for forcing you to do these sections where I would think like modernizing it for me would be like, oh, let's figure out a way that people who don't want to get stuck, doing these mini games can like get around it.
Yeah.
And I understand that it also like, by doing that, it potentially causes problems with characterization and relationship building and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But there is a way to like, I feel like, lessen that stuff. And I feel like because of the pacing of it and the minigame stuff, and also like, even the bikini share, it's like you're watering down the experience as a whole. And that was the issue I had with it.
Okay, that's fair. I think for a lot of what you were saying there, I think if you cut some of that stuff, it's not Final Fantasy VII anymore.
I think it definitely is. I feel like it is good at maintaining its personality and its spirit. I don't think it is crucial to make people walk around these areas slowly, picking up these certain like items to get everyone going, and then standing on a beach for a absurdly long time.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. It's like that's not Final Fantasy. It's poor storytelling.
Yeah, there's
poor pacing.
some of that stuff that I agree with you on,
Yeah.
where the pacing could have been just pick it up a little.
I think this one stays in the little spoon, and we get this out in the wash, and that when it goes to the
Yeah.
giant spoon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think we have to have these conversations. So that's Tetris Forever. I just want to I know we're kind of going back and forth and stuff, but I'll just say I love this game. I've loved a lot of what Digital Eclipse. Digital Eclipse has done, where they take these games, turn them into little museums. This is some of their best stuff, where it's like the history of the people that made Tetris and brought Tetris to the world. And Mike Micah will then reprogram like one of these guys' first games that has nothing to do with Tetris, and they'll put it in the timeline, and you get it in the context, so it's way more meaningful than if you were just to go find the ROM somewhere and play it. And he does a great job recreating it, adds all the fun little features on top. It's excellent. It's probably the best one of these they've done, but I don't think it's going to have a chance of getting on the top 10.
Sure.
I would like to move Rise of the Golden Idol to Little Spoon.
Yeah, it should.
Got it.
Yeah.
You got it, Chef.
Banger.
Little Spoon is
Like 20.
The next level.
discussion, right?
Yeah, like
Yes.
top 20-ish maybe.
Yeah, 20,
And also,
25.
kind of not really in that vein, but in that vein, Lorelei. But also, I feel like there's going to be fewer people arguing for Indica, and it's so good.
I do like Indica.
Yeah, I wound up checking it out because you were glowing about it.
It's a very
Little
weird
Nun.
game.
Yeah.
I think when it's a situation like this, if it's like one person, what's happened in the past is if you feel passionate enough, you can still get it on there, but you have to be super passionate for
The
it.
old Austin Walker method.
Yeah, the old, yes.
In that,
I got Stardew on.
in the spirit of that, I would like to move Legacy of Kain over.
Sure.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever heard you talk about this one. What's this one about?
Let me tell you about his game.
It's I love Fields of Mystria, but it's early
right.
access. It's great. I like it a lot.
yeah.
They're adding a lot of big
Yeah.
updates to it. I think it'll be more in the running next year, because right now you can't even go to
Yeah.
10 hearts with people.
It's really good though.
Should I just move Silent Hill 2
Yeah,
over
but the
now?
same Silent Hill.
Silent Hill's there, Astro
Yeah,
Bot
and
is
Prince of
there.
Persia.
And
Astrobot got moved.
And Erd Tree, and thank goodness you're here.
Astro
Yeah,
Bot
it's
is
there
there.
already. Yeah.
Thank goodness
Okay.
it's there.
Doubled up.
Oh, I
Got
see.
some doubles.
Double dip there.
I've never done any
Mini Shoot
such
Adventures?
thing.
I would like Mini Shoot to be. I don't necessarily expect on top 10, but it's like my number 5 or
Yeah, let's
so.
get it. It's going to be in my top 5, 6, 7. in
Yeah,
that
I
range.
love it.
So I'd like to get
It might
to
be like
Little
my
Spoon.
10, but it'll be on mine. Persona 3 Reload. I like
That's
that
going
a lot.
over.
That's Sean's favorite, and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Duck Detective for Big Spoon. I like it so much. I think it's a really cute game.
You can
but
stand the Big Spoon Duck Detective.
I don't think I put it in.
Sorry.
But is there now?
I personally would really like Garzette Jewel Fairmore to move to the Big Spoon.
Sure.
Or Little Spoon, sorry.
For now, at least, yeah.
For now.
I added this because I haven't had a chance to play it, and I hate that I haven't because of what I heard about Mike telling me about Shadow Generations.
So Sonic Shadow Generations is actually very well done. Like it's a good remaster of Sonic Generations, which was definitely one of the better ones from that era.
Right.
But that Shadow campaign is actually really good. It's some of the best level design that they've ever done for 3D Sonic. Like
That's what I'm hearing.
like Shadow's levels are more fun than Sonic's are in that game now. It's kind of made me like Shadow just a little bit for the first time ever. So
What?
that's impressive.
He's always had a gun and a motorcycle, though.
That's
pretty
cool. You know me, I'm Mr. Sunshine and Rainbows,
Like
right?
both things individually, not cool.
Nah.
Together.
It's pretty
But-
impressive. I don't know if it needs to go over though.
Okay, there we go. We can cut.
Does Pepper Grinder make it into the little spoon?
I don't think so.
liked it, but
I played it. It's a good
Yeah,
platformer. It's challenging. It's
I liked it,
difficult,
didn't
traversal
love it.
stuff for sure.
Indica for Little Spoon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're almost at 20 on the little spoon, and then we'll reveal what is made
So-
of it.
Lorelei needs
Yeah,
to
Lorelei over.
UFO. UFO.
UFO 50 over. Can we talk about Marvel Rivals? Here's sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. I think in my short time with it, I've grown to really, really enjoy it. And maybe it is it's the honeymoon phase because it is a brand new game. So everyone else is also on the ground floor. But I think maybe it's not even appealing to like my Marvel pilled brain because I wind up enjoying characters I'm not super duper familiar with. Like I haven't really touched Captain America.
Me neither, bud.
I played him a lot.
Well, even though
you're
he's like,
making a,
even though he's one of my like favorite comic book characters, like I want to hang out with Jeff the Shark a lot.
Sure.
And then it's just like the abilities and how they synergize. They do that really well, and like I really love being in the discovery zone right now. Of like one game I was playing as Rocket Raccoon, and then I just like jumped onto a wall and realized I could wall crawl. That was dope. Meanwhile, I see someone playing as Iron Fist double jumping, and then he completely whiffs it and jumps off the map.
Hell yeah.
It was great.
Is Scarlet Spider in it?
Classic Genji moment.
I don't know if they have that skin.
Yeah, like I
So
like it.
I think we could move it.
we can
to the
move it.
little-
It is a little shameless.
So that's
Yeah.
exactly where I'm at. I think it's very good. My pushback is that it is just Overwatch again.
Yes.
And the way that I feel is the way that I felt when I played Overwatch almost a decade ago.
Which is worth calling out as good.
Yes, which is great. I feel really good.
I do think they remix it enough that it doesn't feel like just a reskin.
Sometimes I feel like I might as well just be playing Overwatch.
I mean, also it's worth pointing out that Overwatch was a like golden egg. right?
Yes,
and
flash in the pan.
to lay one of those is impossible.
Deeply.
It is not easy to make another chicken can
second
do
one.
it.
Yeah, no, for sure,
And
yeah.
if they looked at that game and went, let's recreate
Yeah,
that
we get it.
magic, and
For sure.
understood
Yeah.
it enough to recreate that magic, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that. Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, they tried to make Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
and
yeah,
they
wow.
couldn't, right? And I would say that this is better executed than Blizzard executed Overwatch
On their own
2.
sequel, yeah.
Now, that being said, as the person who added it to this point, I do think we could cut it here because I'm really liking it. I'm also not completely in love with it, in part because of what you just said.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like I'm kind of just going back to Overwatch.
It definitely feels like the one that's the most on the bubble at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a less controversial probably shift anyways with Tekken 8. Right?
To go over.
Yeah, to go over.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one should probably.
Tekken 8 needs to go over.
The spoon's getting crowded, guys.
Call of Duty has to.
Call of Duty, okay, you feel that? Because I was feeling that way
Yes,
too. Okay.
Yeah,
What about Batman?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Batman.
I would
Good.
love to have Batman over there.
I could take
Oh,
it.
no,
over.
Animal
It's fine.
Will?
Batman.
Batman. Do you?
I thought it would.
I think we need to start having these conversations. Do you think Batman makes top 10?
Unlikely.
Unlikely, but
Then I think maybe we talk about it now, and maybe it's time to
I
go.
mean, like, that's fine.
Well, I think what we could do is let's read what we have in the little
alright,
spoon,
yeah.
then read what's left over in the big spoon.
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Nikki, would you mind reading the little spoon?
Yeah, absolutely. On the little spoon, we have Balatro, Astrobot, Metaphor Refantasio, Content Warning, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Thank Goodness You're Here, Rise of the Golden Idol, Legacy of Kain, Silent Hill 2, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erd Tree, Persona 3 Reload, Mini Shoot Adventures, Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip, UFO 50, Indica, Arzette, Jewel of Faramore, 1000 Times Resist, and Call of Duty Black Ops 6,
Tekken 8.
and Tekken 8.
Jeff Greg, would you mind reading
Yeah.
the big spoon?
On it. In the big spoon, right now we have left Animal Well, Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, Batman Arkham Shadow, Mullet Mad Jack, Stellar Blade, Hades 2, SteamWorld Heist 2, Still Wakes the Deep, Little Kitty Big City, Arranger, Tales of Kinzera Zao, Children of the Sun, Pepper Grinder, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. I'm scrolling down just in case I see Duck Detective.
Duck Detective, yes.
Hanging out over there on his own.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sad
Quack.
boy.
Quack.
The things that stand out to me that are still in the big spoon. Mullet Mad Jack, maybe. SteamWorld Heist 2, Hades 2.
Yeah.
I like Little Kitty Big City. Not going to try to move it over. Mike would probably want us to mention Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year
Yeah,
Door.
I can make a cut right now. Because I think I'm the only person who really loves Stellar Blade here.
Okay.
So,
All right, yes. So anything you want to say about it?
I think it is a great game. Again, like the review cast, I think it's an 8. A very, very solid first attempt for this new IP.
Yeah.
It is very reminiscent of some stuff that's done before, but I think they execute it on well. Does a lot of like the Bayonetta stuff of having these big set pieces set to cool music and stuff. But it does really feel like a good first entry.
Yeah.
And I really am looking forward to Stellar Blade 2,
sure.
but I don't think Stellar Blade
Yeah.
1 makes it.
And I think, I was just going to say, I think it is really important to make note of you got to start somewhere. Like,
Yes.
so deeply,
Yes.
you have to start
Oh, so
somewhere.
true.
And,
Yes.
like, it is easier to rely on tropes when you are beginning because
Yes.
it allows you to get your footing so that you can then
And
stand up
The
and
lies
then,
of P.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure, and the
lies
fact that
up
they
here
went
will-
from making, like a gotcha mobile game to now making like a very,
A
very
tri-
solid
yes.
Yeah.
action game with like Souls elements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, solid first attempt.
I think we talked about it on the review cast, but I think I mentioned like this is one of those games where I am very excited to eventually see the second entry.
Yes.
Also, very unfortunate that this game got consumed by the fucking chuds of the internet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go fucking.
Yeah.
They left it
touch
behind for
rocks.
Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not their game.
No.
It's not their game anymore. It's ours. So
It's
like,
the Big Spoon's
they-
game.
Yep.
That's right.
Mike, you want to talk about Thousand Year Door?
Yeah, gosh, I do just think it's incredible how well that holds up, and they did a very smart remastering / remake here. They generally knew what needed touched up, and it wasn't much. A lot of it really is more aesthetic things. I think the new music's great, but you
Yeah.
can still listen to
Still do the
music,
old stuff,
which is
yeah.
fantastic. Just an amazing cast of characters. Shouts like Vivian, right? All sorts of these guys are super
yeah.
memorable. And I know I'm like a big remake defender, and last year Resident Evil 4 was my remake. But when you are more of a one-to-one remake like this, I feel a little bit less like, you really
No,
need
for
to
sure.
pin a badge on
Or rather,
you.
when you're more of a remaster.
Right,
I'd
like this
say.
is like so, yeah, and that that's more of a gradient than a line remaster and remake
Right,
anymore
right,
these
yeah.
days, but it's in a certain spot there. So yeah, Thousand Year Door was a fantastic game. I think it's an even better game now, and that is great. I'm so glad that they did this project, and this game is just now easily accessible forever. Doesn't necessarily have to move over.
Yeah, there's on my own personal list of first-party Nintendo games that I was like desperate for Nintendo to bring up to date for the Switch, like bring it to the Switch. That was Thousand Year Door and Wind Waker.
Yeah.
And when Thousand Year Door got announced, I think was earlier in the year, right? When it was announced? Question
It's
mark.
like that or late last year when it was
And then,
announced.
like,
I think it was last year.
Oh, okay, but then the thing that was like interesting about it was that it was like they had 3 RPG beats, right? It was Thousand Year Door and
Super Mario,
Super Mario RPG and Brothership, right? And
Yeah.
the one that they made 20 years ago is the one that hit the hardest.
Right.
Which I don't know, maybe make another one of these, gang.
Yeah.
Make it good.
But I'm good to take it off.
I think I want to move Hades 2 to the Little Spoon.
Yeah, dude, and
It's the one that's yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I haven't played it, but it does feel like a weird. Given how highly you all spoke
Yes.
about it.
right.
And what about Animal Well?
I didn't play enough of it.
I liked it a lot, and there were definitely some amazing aha moments, like
Yeah.
the disc when you realize, like it. It's very cool. It nails that thing of like not really having to tell you a lot and
just
super
very-
not holding your hand. Like
Very cool.
Yeah, in terms of like Metroidvanias and stuff, it is about one of the most open ones I've seen in forever.
Right.
And not even being traditional, like someone running around with a gun shooting enemies type thing. I think it's worthy of a lot of praise. I didn't quite love it enough to do the all the different endings and all that. I saw credits once and I was
that's
like,
how I
I feel satiated with that.
Sure.
So I don't think it goes to the Little
Yep,
Spoon.
I agree.
Is there anything else in the Big Spoon that still remains that people feel very strongly about
No.
to want to move over?
There are just so many games in there that I really enjoy, but I will put my bets on other horses.
Yeah.
So I mean, shout out to Kinesugami.
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah,
to
yeah.
Little Kitty Big City and Dr. Tech.
Little Kitty Big City is also just a very good game that my kids are loving all the
Yeah,
time.
love it.
That I enjoy helping them out with because I enjoy playing it.
It's a game that my cats love.
Yeah.
They just
Oh, yeah, they
sat
told you?
and watched
that
it
on the
and just would
box.
meow and
And also Tales of Kinzera.
Yeah.
yeah.
That is a game
Yeah.
that
Tells an
has.
absolutely beautiful story.
And another one where it's like, perfect video game? No, you got to start somewhere, and you just great.
It's a solid
On your-
Metroidvania.
Yes. Yeah.
And then for me, as someone who's like, I come to these Metroidvanias for a reason. I want to search, I want to get some action, and that stuff's solid. And then I was like, oh my God, I love this story. It was so moving.
It's got so much
It was
heart.
so moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can see the seams give it more personality.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you know this is the
Yeah.
first game
Yeah.
from this team
Yeah.
who have not a lot of experience, and they just wanted to. Well, especially
And-
Abu Bakr,
Right.
he just desperately wanted to tell his story, and he has a love of the medium.
Yeah, and like-
that is like it's an against all odds
Yeah.
story. Like we all wish that we have ideas that we could translate into the medium we love, but none of us have. So a lot of us don't have the ability, the talent, or the resources to do that. And this feels like a sheer force of will game.
Yeah.
Like I made this happen, and it might not be amazing to you, but I needed this to exist in this world.
Yeah, it's a piece of art.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
legitimately and actually, so I think it is important.
Real quick, Children of the Sun was very cool. It's a game
Yes.
that looks like
Yeah,
this like
that's cool.
stylish
Shit.
sniper game at
Swaggy
first,
as
and it's
hell.
like
Yep.
it's like a
Cool.
puzzle game. You know,
Yeah.
it's really cool. And it's got
Very
such
cool.
a good gimmick. Like the whole game is this kind of one gimmick, and then it kind of adds the things where it's like, oh, you can stop the bullet in midair and turn around and redirect it, and kind of gave me a little bit of that neon white, you know,
Sure.
kind of
Especially
small
with the score
levels.
chasing, yeah.
Yeah, trying to like what's the word I'm looking for? Just optimize your route through it and everything.
Right.
Really cool stuff. But yeah, I'm not gonna make it to the.
I think that and Mullet Magic are the most like stylish.
Yeah.
Sort of like
Mullet Magic
special-
just blew my eyeballs
Isn't
back.
that
back in my head.
insane?
If we
That
had
game's
like the
insane.
Soldier Boy category this year, I
Yeah.
think Mullet
Oh,
Magic would definitely fit
Totally.
into that.
It's just so wild to see like such a very specific vision. Like I look at that game and I only played it maybe for like 3 hours right before I
Yeah.
was just like, I'm gonna flop around on the floor if I keep doing this. And it just like you know that like no sacrifices were made in that where you're just like that's such a specific vision. Really, really cool. Those two games I think for me were like very important stylistically for sure.
sorry to bring up one more game, but mouthwashing, Jen. Do you think that's
Yeah, I mentioned it to him. Yeah.
The thing is, I just don't know how
how much you can talk about it without?
how much I can talk about it. There are portions of the game though that were very frustrating where I almost wanted to put it down because I think they try and just make it too much into a game that it doesn't need to be. Like they had a very awkwardly paced stealth segment that didn't really need to be there. You could continue. I feel like they should have just stayed with the weird perspective of the story that they were trying to do. They also add a weapon later in the game, which was very frustrating and was another time I almost stopped playing the game completely. But I highly do recommend checking out Mouthwashing if you're looking for like more existential dread. If we had an existential dread category, I'd fill up everything on that list.
I want to give a shout out to The Operator as well, which is a fun game I played over the summer. A couple hours long. You play as the man in the chair. It basically for like the FBI.
Greg, do you want to talk about that game that looked like Windows 95?
Oh yeah. Safety Home Hotline. Yeah, that was actually surprisingly interesting. I didn't get to play enough of it to put it on any list like this, but it was one that when you call in, you get all this like the normal things. Hey, your house is infested with mice. Let me help you out with that. And then eventually it opens up and starts having monsters, hobgoblins, things like that. And it's very interesting to just like get the call, and that's all the information you get. And they give like little keywords, and they could be positive keywords or negative keywords. In that, if it's a positive, it means it's like going to positively identify something it could be, and then some other stuff. It's like, but it's not like they're leaving droppings or something, so I don't know what it is. It's like, well, then it can't be mice. It has to be something else. Oh, it is a hobgoblin. And it's one of these games you play in your head. It definitely fits in that category with Duck Detective and Rise of the Golden Idol. It probably just like.
What's
If
it
you
called
like
again?
the vibes of it, it's Home Safety Hotline.
I call it process of elimination games.
Yes,
They're really satisfying.
it's very satisfying. Yes. It's
That one's good. Though.
Yeah, The Operator gets you to do like you're running labs, you're running fingerprints, you're scrubbing through like CCTV camera footage to get suspects. It's cool. It's tactile. It's fun.
All right. Well, is it time to say goodbye to the big spoon?
Yeah.
think it
Goodbye to the
is.
big spoon.
Good night,
Back in the
Spoon.
drawer.
Good night,
Back in the drawer.
spoon.
Yep. Maybe we start proposing eliminations. Well, we can move a few.
I think
Okay, we have 3 locks
Yeah, exactly.
for the next round, I think, right? Because
Yeah.
Melatro, Astrobot, and Metaphor aren't going anywhere.
I think Indiana Jones isn't going anywhere either.
I don't.
I
Indiana
agree.
Jones ain't going.
I don't think.
I agree.
I don't think Prince of Persia's going anywhere.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if we just do 10 right now, then we're good.
No, we'll
fine.
probably do more than that. Is
Yeah,
the
we need
thing.
blood. Okay, let's. Any other for sures?
I was going to say Silent Hill 2. Is it?
Yeah, I
I
think
think
that,
so. I thought so. I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we might need to discuss this one a little. Black Ops 6.
Yeah, that's like my number 3 of the
Well,
year.
well,
and
how
I-
about
Oh,
we-
good
yeah,
for you.
It's like top 5 for me as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how everyone else feels about it.
I don't know if it'll be my top 10, but it's close.
I really like the multiplayer.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at.
It's really good.
It's
Yeah.
one of the best ones of these I've played, but also
Did you do
at
the campaign?
No, and that's my loss.
I guess I'll go.
think.
Campaign's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
What do you like more, the campaign or multiplayer?
I'm normally a campaign guy, but this is the first one in a while that I got super duper into the multiplayer. I prestiged for the first time forever. I know Minotti did too.
Really?
Yeah, first time I ever
Thank you
did.
for your service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I bring up.
I don't do it for the compliments.
Right.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You do it for the hardware.
Thank you.
For the hardware.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like some of us here are hooked on this game, and that's not nothing.
Yeah.
Like that.
I am not a Call of Duty person, really never was. Even like that Prime 360, I just played a bit. This is definitely the most I've been playing the multiplayer mode.
I don't.
I mean, you're not
I'm
gonna
enjoying
get me
it.
to
It's
shit
not a-
on Call of
Duty's
Duty.
not a lock for the tiny spoon.
No,
that's not. That's
no,
not
it's
what
I will
not.
say this though.
not.
I still think the game is hideous. I think it has some of
It
the
still does look like
ugliest
game.
like cosmetics ever.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yes, I think
aesthetically it is repulsive.
not graphically,
No,
no,
It means
aesthetically.
like the Fortnite-ification of it, like all
but,
that
like,
stuff.
No,
The
how there's like goopy zombies
Yeah,
as
that
like the
stuff.
skin.
Like, so
unlock and
he thinks
stuff
the
like
shark skin looks.
Everyone's talking at once.
Yeah, sorry. Like the way they try and cosmetic it up, the way like it's just.
Oh, like selling
bad.
skins and
Yeah,
stuff
it's
like
just,
that.
but it's all ugly
Yeah.
and shitty.
Like I don't mind selling skins. I think that all the skins look very stupid.
Yeah,
Yes.
like literally the
He's
skins
right.
look gross.
I think they're like stupid in a way that I made. Like I buy all the dumb
Which
ones.
is fair.
bad taste,
I'm a
but
shark
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
Peter Stormare, and now I got a raccoon. Yeah, they're stupid.
It's my favorite movie.
There's one where it's like you're just like veins and bones. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very stupid.
I just think Call of Duty's not a lock for the tiny spoon. That,
Yeah,
it's
it's a lot.
just
Yeah.
not.
For me, it was. I did not think it would be on my top 10 this year, and it's
Yeah.
like number 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Are there any other locks?
No, I don't think so. I think we're
So
starting.
I think we're just
Honestly,
talking then.
the way we all talked about, thank goodness you're here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was already on. Yeah, thank goodness you're here.
Is it weird for me to assume that
What?
infinite wealth is also a lock?
I wouldn't say it is.
I don't think it's a lock.
It's close.
It could be on there.
It's but like
It might be in the Call of Duty zone, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's throw Call of Duty and Infinite Wealth on here because these are the ones we're going to definitely have conversations about.
Okay. I just think that the.
Is the tiny spoon? Really think that should be the mouth.
Well, no. We gotta get to the mouth.
Oh, well, then we need to put mouthwash
Yeah,
on.
then there's stomach.
Are these
yeah.
the games that we want to discuss further?
These are the games that
We
are
are
like,
trying to get to a top 10.
Very likely going to be in the top 10 or a conversation for the top 10.
Okay.
And then we can start whittling away at the little spoon.
Yeah.
Hades 2.
Okay, so I am not like I don't want to be like a big stickler about that whole early access thing. I ultimately don't care too much, but boy, like, why not just wait till the game is out next year?
And that's kind of where I'm
agree.
at too.
I'm that way
I
too.
love it
Right.
a lot.
So
It
can we
does
all-
not need to. It does. I think it would be.
It's really
disservice.
it's one of the closest ever for an early access
Yes.
game, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
Yes.
just right because it is a full
100%.
game.
It is a full game, but I do think it will be a disservice to the other games that we are trying to get
Yes.
onto a
Yes.
top 10 list to give it to a game that is deeply, by their own admission, not ready or
Yeah.
done yet.
Okay.
I have no doubt it is great right now.
Yeah.
But I do want to wait until it's at a 1.5.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this may be one of the games I've spent the most time in.
When is it gonna? When is it gonna 1.5?
They haven't said, but
Sometime
probably
next year.
By next year. Yep.
When Switch 2 comes out.
It is. I think the best game that I'm going to be deleting off of this list.
Yeah,
That's how I
fair.
feel
Go for
about
it.
it.
So, I think you're right.
Wait, is Like a Dragon on the list then? Oh,
Yeah.
to discuss further.
Nothing's
Okay.
locked.
Tiny Spoon is not locked.
Nothing's binding.
I feel like UFO 50 is. I didn't play it. I just know I can read the room here a little bit. I want to play it. I don't think enough of us have.
Well, for me, it's more that I did play UFO 50, and I found like one game in that entire
Yeah,
list of
I was the same as-
hooked
same as
onto,
you.
and I
It's
think that's enough.
incredibly impressive.
I love the concept of it so much. It's like a 10 out of 10 concept for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing through it, and I played all 50 games, not to completion, but like I played them all. There's maybe like 5 to 10 that I was like, oh yeah, these are good, and like maybe 2 or 3 where I was like, oh, I want to play a bunch of this one.
Yeah.
So I think concepts of 10 out of 10. The games themselves range from 2 to 8. Pretty
Which
much.
is like
Kinda, yeah.
that does kind of lead into the concept. Some of the games in the past used to fucking suck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why that very first one, the one that Grubb beat,
Yeah.
like, I liked that
Yeah.
one sucked because it's like I remember renting games based on box art and they sucked and it felt like an accurate portrayal of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the 80s,
It's almost like with something like a Tetris Forever, where not every game that is included in there is going to hit, but the concept of what it is as an experience is very fun. I would still recommend.
Like Tetris has like Hatris and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, this is just an interesting part of this history,
Yeah.
Where did Lorelei go?
Where did she go?
Oh,
Mystery.
I probably wrongly deleted.
We almost had a.
Rise of the Golden Idol is fantastic.
I love it.
It is.
Okay.
It's
I
so
Well,
smart. It made me feel so
We're
smart.
just talking.
Yeah.
Up against everything else, though. It's like it's high on my list. I think it's
Sure.
3.
It's like
It's so many quality of life improvements to the first game, and
it's
a really
it's
cool
kind.
continuation of that story.
It's one that's like I love it. We did give I feel like we gave the first game its flowers, didn't we? Like
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
talked
I came to
about
it
it a
late,
lot.
but I really, really loved
Yeah,
it.
and so it's like when I'm thinking about like the kind of slot that's going to fit into, there are other games that I'm more excited to push those on because people now know about Rise of the
People should be
Golden
playing both of those games, and I didn't know until Lucy told me they are on phones.
Yeah,
On Netflix.
Yeah, they're on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're on Netflix and Game
Yeah,
Pass.
they're playing.
Yeah.
All right.
And like that is, you should play these games.
Yeah, they're really good. Indica as well is another one
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
I'll talk about it now because I don't think it's going to make it onto the Tiny Spoon. So Indica is a game where you play as a nun who literally has the devil on her shoulder, who talks to you. It's a meta commentary about video games, gamification, about religion,
Yeah.
oppressive governments and regimes,
Identity.
identity. It's a really, really interesting game. It's a wickedly funny game as well. You get into some really surreal situations with this devil, with, there's one particular one at the very beginning where there's a nun and then she opens her mouth and all these little tiny nuns kind of spill out. There's kind of elements of horror in there. There's also, I'll put a content warning on there too. There's like depictions of some pretty rough stuff in there. I think it's one of the most interesting games I've played for years. Very aware that it's not for everyone. Like, there's a point in it at the very beginning where you're filling stuff, some water from a well. You're just going back and forwards. It's super tedious, but you're doing it because someone in a position of authority told you to. And then when you do it, you get arbitrary points. And those points that you put into like how religious you are, basically. It's a very
You're filling up your rosary.
you're leveling up your religion, and it's very funny. It has some really cool puzzles, but I think towards the end it kind of some of the puzzles are just not that good.
Yeah.
But overall, just such an interesting game, and I think more people should play it.
A very David Lynch game. Like,
Oh man.
in terms of like its presentation.
What am I doing? I'll be back in what, 5 to 6 hours?
It will like transition into the scene, and it's the most confusing, fucked up like cinematic choice, angle, like
Guys.
use, and it's like you're like, what the is
I feel
There were
let
some
down
points-
by you all.
Some points, fucking no one listens to me. So you put there are puzzles where you basically pray to change the settings. So
New rule. You guys have to nail me down and say, hey,
No,
one you gotta play.
New rule. You just listen to us.
Yeah, exactly.
How am I talking about this game?
it's not about that. It's just I just need to be told sometimes.
Got to be your minders.
Yeah, I just need dress me, right? Tell me what to play.
So Indica off.
Yeah, again, there's just a lot of really good shit this year.
As much as I love Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and have talked about how much I love it, I may be getting the sense that it is not this group's top 10.
It's not my cup of tea.
Not me either.
I feel like Sean likes it enough that it shouldn't.
I mean,
I think we should talk about our games first for cutting.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, I thought we'd be higher on Infinite Wealth, but it seems like it's around the same area that
I think Infinite Wealth has. You want to talk pacing issues?
Yeah.
That game got pacing.
The back third of
Yeah.
that game is
the back part.
is
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say even more than that. I fell off of the previous Like a Dragon because I was in a sewer for like an hour and a half and I was bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there are
Don't worry, there's a
moments
sewer
like that.
thing in It's not a sewer, sorry, it's a building site.
it's a building site. Yeah. and-
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
I still think the game overcomes all that and is awesome because the characters and the setting and like Dondoku Island and
Some lovely moments.
yeah.
Revisiting all of Kiryu's.
Yes, and,
Yeah,
right.
that's
Making me care about all these
good.
characters that
Trials
I
and
didn't sort of spend time with. Yeah.
You know what turn-based game is on this list that hasn't gotten moved over yet? Is Persona 3 Reload. And that game, I feel like that game's been overshadowed a bit because Metaphor came out, and it's like that same studio, and it's similar, but Persona 3 Reload
Not
is
the same
very
studio.
good.
It's
What's
excellent.
that, sorry?
It's not the same studio, technically.
Same publisher,
Same
but yes, two
studio.
different
Yeah.
studios
I know,
within,
so it's about
Right,
within
yeah.
Atlas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, were we taking Rise of the Golden Idol off? I think
Yeah.
that's-
Oh, yeah,
that's-
it's-
I was gonna
oh,
bring
okay.
that
Isn't
up,
just
yeah.
not putting it on the tiny spoon.
Yeah.
I got it.
So we move.
Leave it in the big spoon,
So we're keeping Final Fantasy.
little spoon.
Yeah, we'll keep Final Fantasy on the
Just for now, let's. Okay, let's maybe.
Maybe I'll bring up. I think grab a couple of our babies here are Mini Shoot and Tiny Terry.
Yeah.
Do we feel like does anyone?
I think three of us. Mini Shoot is like on the lower part of our lists, right? Like it's
Yeah.
might be my number
Mini Shoot's
10.
pretty high on mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. So, I mean, yeah, I like it a lot, and I would be happy to see it go over. I'm not super attached to it.
I would fight for Mini Shoot before Tiny Terry. I really like Tiny Terry. Almost as like a fun novelty throwback, different take on that GTA open world style. But with Mini Shoot, I felt like within seconds of playing it, I had one of those like, oh shit, I'm gonna love this feelings. Like the way I do with like Vampire Survivor.
Yeah.
It's like you can instantly grab the controller and be like, oh, I get it. I love this.
It's super fun. I wish it had a little more juice somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
there's the upgrades.
presentation wise, or like something aesthetically.
Yep.
Right.
The aesthetic is not great, and then outside of like the upgrades, it's some pretty standard going around, pressing buttons and stuff to unlock parts of the map, dungeon,
I still-
Zelda
I
style.
like it a
It's
lot.
So
It
I
feels good.
loved every second of playing that game. I 100%ed it.
I think the reality is neither of these games are going to make it.
Yeah, I
That
think so.
seems realistic to me.
I'm-
I'd be fine with cutting both.
Sad about Terrence.
Yeah,
but-
Tiny Terry, we've talked
got
about
to go
a
to
lot.
space.
He got to
He
go to
did go to-
space.
he did
Exactly.
go to
And I
space.
just, people should go check it out. Like I said, 3 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
good.
Go ahead, Lucy.
Lorelei.
Yeah.
And the laser eyes.
It's such a hard fucking game.
It's so hard.
to go back to.
You need a moleskin.
But the thing is, I love that.
Yeah, it's really good.
I like the last time I felt that I needed a moleskin to play a game with
Not sponsored, but.
not moleskin.
Could be.
No. Actually, I'm not a fan of them. So.
Okay, never mind. Never mind.
It's just
Sorry,
ubiquitous
moleskin.
for like calling notebooks, but there's better notebooks.
Was
Aramon is
Tunic
better.
and Baba Is You. Just like replaying those. My one knock against Lorelei is not really on the game, but it's just how I approached it. It was near impossible to go back to it after spending some time away.
I had to start it 2 times.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fell off at a certain point because I had to do other things. I wanted to carry on playing, and then I came back a few weeks later, and I was like, I have to restart.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I cannot restart. I'm not doing all that over again.
Yeah.
I think if they had really figured out a way to keep that
Momentum.
Yeah, the breadcrumb.
stay above water a little bit
Yeah.
without sinking to the bottom,
Yeah.
this will be on my top 10 for sure. But yeah, I think like
It's a cracker. It's good.
what's that?
Good game.
Good game.
Good puzzle.
Love when you can show me a unique visual style that I've not seen before. That is very uniquely that game and nothing else that's ever
So
come
we're,
before.
for Lorelei, we're giving its flowers now.
This
and
is like
thinking
their
about it.
Yeah,
eulogy
yeah,
a little
the
bit.
flower
Make it
giving.
sure.
Yeah.
We're like Laura, die.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, and like fixed camera stuff is like sort of dead, but this kept it alive, and yeah, I'm into it.
Should we? Okay, let's remove that. Go. Maybe do we want to go through the little spoon? Everyone say the game they want to move over
Real
the most.
quick, not to add something so annoyingly late, but did anyone else play Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D?
I did, and
I did, and
I did.
sorry, Mike.
Oh, that's okay. I freaking love it. It's fantastic. I'll have another time. I think that is just one of the best ways to present an old
Yes.
school style JRPG.
it's
Fantastic.
just such an amazing year for JRPGs.
yeah, and
Exactly.
to me, it's one of my favorites though, and I'll find another way to talk about it. But I think it's beautiful.
Something that totally got overlooked. Fucking Unicorn Overlord.
You know what? And I'll tell you what, I overlook it, and I beat that game.
Yeah.
I played the whole thing, and I somehow don't think about it
I
a whole
played a
lot.
solid chunk and it just didn't stick with me.
Yeah.
Which is weird because
I liked it.
Vanillaware, look at that game. It's
Yeah.
pretty, but
Yeah.
just so much about it just felt a little standard to me.
So
I have a few transactions I'd like to make.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was gonna say
I would like to
we.
make a withdrawal.
Okay,
Okay,
please.
well,
please.
can I see your card, please?
I was talking to the bank guy, not you fucking man in the line behind me.
Fraud detection.
What are you
This is a
proposing?
stick up.
That's right. I would like to withdraw, sadly, Batman Arkham Shadow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that it is very, very, very good
Yeah.
as a VR game. It is one of the best implementations of a bunch of familiar VR mechanics, but reimagined for Batman. And like that is the spirit of what Rocksteady did. Like they created a game that was familiar parts of other things, but thought, how would we do this for Batman?
Yeah.
And then put that together to make the greatest Batman trilogy ever created, may never be topped. And for Camouflage to come along and do basically the same thing, again, it's like that capturing lightning in a bottle a second time.
Yeah.
It's like it should be impossible. This is someone else's magic that you've rebottled. And for them to do it in a format that is completely different, and not to rag on it, I love the Batman Arkham Origins, but the general consensus is it's not as good as the Arkham games. And that is a format, assets, and a lot of design elements that are basically the same, shared within the game that they're trying to be a version of. Whereas the VR version is a completely different medium. It needs to be rethought in so many different ways. The fact that they pulled it off and it's so authentic, and I also love that they didn't go with like obvious storytelling choices. They leaned into the detective part of it. They put Matches Malone in there. They like did some real deep cut Batman shit, and that is the other part of it where it felt authentic because Rocksteady cares about Batman, and they cared through the choices of characters, how they depicted them, and like how they use them. And again, that's something that Camouflage did, which is they know how to make a Batman game. But like Rocksteady, they also know what makes a Batman game, which I think is super, super cool. And to borrow the words of John Drake, Iron Man walked so Batman could run. But like, it's a hell of a game.
A box of
and that Camouflage, it might not be on many lists. I mean, it won at the Game Awards. It might not be on many lists, but they should absolutely be proud of that achievement. As a Batman fan who is very critical of Batman-related stuff, I think that they should be super proud of it.
Carrying VR this year.
Yeah.
No. Single-handedly.
It's Giant Bomb's VR game of the
It
year.
is.
Oh, yeah. It is, yeah.
We debated
It
for a
is,
while.
yeah.
Tough one.
Hey, Mike, can you get nerds out on this?
That was my withdrawal.
Well, hang on. Let's cook in here.
I gotta say, I've been waiting in line. This is very, this is very
normally how
unusual.
you operate at a bank.
Yes.
You've been tricked. We're actually at the DMV.
Usually, there's not stories being
All
told
right, now
anyway.
please read the small line.
I have 2 deposits I'd like to make.
I like this. Let's maybe we could all pick
Yeah.
the 2 that we want. I want to see if there's a lot of commonality.
Okay.
Okay.
These 2 deposits are entirely selfish. They're an uphill struggle.
They're probably
But I'm
back to
getting.
back.
I
Well, I want to hear them. Yeah.
Right,
Absolutely.
but in both cases,
I know it isn't.
I'm gonna try my best to make them, and if I don't at least try, I think I'd regret it and let down a bunch of people, and that's Legacy of Kain and Elden Ring.
Oh, shocker. Okay.
Mine too are content warning and Shadow of the Erdtree.
Yeah. We're
Yeah,
going in.
I was going to
going
say
in.
Shadow of the Erdtree.
Yes. I'm also going to say Shadow of the Earth 3.
Okay. Do you have another one?
I would say my other one would be Tekken 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't play Shadow of the Erdtree, but I too am voting for Shadow of the Erdtree.
I like this guy behind me now. I'm gonna move it.
All right. Why are you at the bank if you don't have any money?
I mean, looking at that list,
Again, I'm
Erdtree is the
holding
only one. I don't have it. Number
Okay. Let's fucking rip the Band-Aid off, y'all. The straps are coming down this year.
Yeah, fuck Arzette.
all
No,
right.
I'm kidding.
I mean, yeah, Mike.
But we're not talking
I'm
about
sorry,
that
dude.
right now. Don't worry about it.
It's sticking out more and more, Mike.
If I could do an Indiana Jones style swapsies
Yeah.
for perhaps removing
Yes.
Like a Dragon
Yeah, for Erdtree.
for 1,000 X
Yeah,
resist.
this is
Back
Hold up.
Why not do it for Call of Duty? I think you might have a better chance there.
Fuck that.
He doesn't
Cool.
want Call of Duty on
Why
there.
is Call of Duty from the little spoon, by the way?
Hang
Where's
on.
it
I
gone?
think there's some
we
logical
had a whole
moves.
conversation about that. Yeah.
Some
yeah,
logical moves. I think.
Everything we
Oh, I'm an
suggested is
idiot.
going on the discussion part.
Well, I'm sorry.
Like everyone just, a bunch of people just said, yeah, Erdtree should be there, but
Okay, yeah. Hang on.
So-
We need to resolve some things that just happened.
yeah, exactly.
I think Erdtree just moves over.
Yeah,
I think that's
100%.
and
Yeah,
I
simple as
would
that.
like to make the
The case for Legacy.
case for Legacy of Kain.
Now, I want to say
hang on.
first, before you do that, that I did sacrifice a couple of darlings because one, Thousand Year Door was a remaster, and another one, Marvel vs. Capcom Fight Collection, is a collection.
Cool.
I know, I'm just saying.
I mean, I didn't make you sacrifice
I
that. That was yours.
know. I just, I'm such a stand-up guy.
Follow my sword. You do it too. He's like, no, I'm not doing that shit.
That sounds terrible.
An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
Hang on. I think there's another one we need to talk about here. Content warning.
Well, wait, now, let's maybe stay on where we are before we're jumping around a lot here.
Well, that's the thing. I think everything else that is left is. I'll get to another one, but I think everything else that is left is kind of babies that we're trying to move on.
Yeah.
I think content warning is one where collectively.
I said content warning. Dan, you said maybe content warning.
I enjoyed my time with it, but it's not one that I'm like sitting around
Right.
thinking
That's
about playing all
what
the
I'm
time.
trying to gauge everyone's feelings.
Nikki, I know you like it a lot.
Super pro content warning. My argument for is that it's our list, and I think that we should have a thing that we all had fun doing
and I feel like
together
I want to kind of
on
sneak
our
one of
list.
those on there. I know that it's not going
Which
to
is
guarantee it gets on
it's
there,
just sentimental.
but it feels like
push.
maybe it has a
Yeah.
push there.
I think
Crowd darling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it does. It takes the Lethal Company moment, and obviously they were working on them concurrently. Like,
it doesn't matter.
These
I don't
ideas
care.
have not come out in. They did not come in a vacuum, right?
Yeah.
But I think it is such an interesting and fun and timely spin that for the job that we do and the ways that we play games, I think really allowed us to have fun in a space together. And I think that is really important medium-wise, because you can't do that with a book.
I'm going to ask, because I haven't played it. I
Yeah.
wasn't on that. I have zero connection to it. Did y'all go back to it? Did y'all think about it?
That's the thing. Right, we did. I
Stream?
appreciate what it's doing.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's like I went to a house party and they had this fun drinking game and I did it once. I was like, that was a fun time, and it's not like I'm like setting it up at home, you know.
not
It's like
thinking
Cards
about
Against
it.
Humanity.
I think that the way we think about that game is more the other categories we've had where we talk about like best game we streamed.
Yeah,
and stuff
absolutely.
like that.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
That's why we had that category.
Exactly. I think
Yeah.
that one fits
Yeah.
more there.
Yeah.
So I
For
think
sure.
for the top 10, and like as a game,
Yeah, no,
they're
for
doing
sure.
cool stuff,
Yeah.
but I think it's maybe not the greatest. So I think
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. It is what we brought to it, and that's still part of the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think dropping it because of it was going to be hard, and not enough people really feel too strongly about it. I'm fine.
Yeah.
with that. Let's cut it.
I would be willing to drop 1,000 times resist.
that's big of you, Dan. That's
Thank you
big
so
of you.
much.
Give you-
I would not be willing
is
to
it-
drop 1,000.
Is there any reason Tekken 8's not moved? Does anybody have anything against
I love
Tekken 8?
Tekken.
Okay.
It doesn't show. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tekken 8 has phenomenal presentation. It has a very, very fun story mode.
Yeah.
A game, the more I play it, the more I hate it.
Yeah.
Because it's horrifically imbalanced in a way that is not fun.
Yeah.
Like, fighting games should not be balanced for the sake of, like esports and everything like that, and like, let's make it fair. But this game is in many ways broken in a way that is not fun.
Yeah.
And more, I want to play with friends, and I don't because there's so many issues with the actual fighting in Tekken 8.
Yeah. Okay.
If it maybe gets me some points a little bit here, I'm saying maybe this is the end of the journey for Tekken 8.
Yeah, I also feel like it is a lot of what makes Tekken 8 so makes it good is the stuff around the core of the game, which is quite familiar in terms of it's Tekken 7 in a lot. Like a movement of Tekken 7, an evolution of Tekken 7. And like Tekken 7 was great. Tekken 8 is in a weird place. Everything around it is cool. But I feel like there's a disparity between the stuff that is good and the stuff that is questionable, that is big enough that it kind of, like Sean said, it might be the end of the journey.
Yeah, I just think that, and again, this is us talking about our experiences, but in such a multiplayer focused and community focused game, it is hard to get over the funk that's in Tekken 8 and how people kind of just don't want to play it right now.
Yeah, if it doesn't feel good to play.
There's a lot of like
Then
videos.
I think that's it for Tekken.
Into the
Tekken community
volcano.
is very
Into the
upset.
volcano. Dan, throw it.
Nice.
You made that noise at the exact moment it got deleted.
Yeah,
Amazing.
we planned that. That's the Heihachi noise.
Yeah.
So, okay, and then next,
Heihachi.mp3.
How do you spell that?
EHH. Maybe like a GH after that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
okay,
Okay, we have 5 left here on the little spoon, and I feel like we need to cut all of them, maybe? Like, we have 10 over
no,
there.
hang on,
No, we got
hang on.
Yeah, I'm
Hold
an
up.
idiot.
Mike, how hard do we want to fight for Rebirth?
I'm already kind of over it. It's very important for me. I can tell it's not important to pretty much everyone else here, and that's okay.
Mike,
Right.
where's ours at on your game of the year
Well,
list?
why don't we talk about Persona 3 first?
Let's do Arzette first, because I've seen bits of it. I have no connection
Arzette is
really
incredible.
to
It really is.
Zelda or the
It's very-
CDI stuff.
It's right. It's
Tell-
fun
I
in
mean,
its own
tell me
right.
about it.
It is. It takes those games and makes them playable in a way so it's fun, and makes it fun to get to the stuff that's bad on purpose. And doing that is actually super impressive. It is probably not going to make the.
Yeah. But you're probably right.
That's why I'm asking. If it's like your number one game of the year,
It's not.
make the stand.
It's not. I'll be honest. It's not even my top 5. I know.
Right, so
But
that's-
I admire it. I admire it more
I
than
know.
maybe any game this
We
year.
know.
I think in terms of having a vision and having passion, see that vision through. Like, I feel that on the screen more than maybe anything else this year. It tickles me more than air.
The crazy thing I'm going to say, as a person who has mostly watched Arzette, is that in my brain, it occupies the same zone as Thank Goodness You're Here.
Shut up, Nikki.
I think that they are similar. I think delete both. That's what I think. I think we should do, because then we can get 1,000 times.
And Arzette has actual game mechanics.
Yeah.
That's a real game. No, I think
I do wish there was a little more interactivity with.
It's a slap former.
Sure.
But I
You
think
can jump.
You jump and you slap.
slap. You could jump and slap. What else do you need?
You can jump.
with regard to, I think they both nail the very hyper specific niche thing that they are trying to do.
Okay, being British is not niche.
I think it is.
That's a pretty small island.
And also, technically,
going back in the goddamn head.
Technically, in this room, it is currently a niche.
Statistically, I think,
I think we count Bacalar as one of ours at this point.
Yay.
Not triangle. We're gonna keep who wants the line is it anyways, isn't it? Instead of ourselves, that triangle.
I mean,
You know that British people use words, right?
Yeah, like that triangle.
The words sound different.
Triangle.
Yeah, why is it the British Boomhauer from
They told me to do it. I'm not going to dig my heels in with Arzette. The fact that I could be at least a little bit of a stinker about it is good enough for me if we want to cut it.
Goodbye to
I'm not
Arzette.
gonna make a stink
I'm
after
sorry, Tim.
making a
Same thing's
stink.
gonna happen with Legacy of Kain, man.
Listen, a lot of people have said
You're only.
A lot of people are telling me.
A lot of, they want to cut their babies. They're not gonna.
No, I
Kill their
never said
babies.
that. You got to stop telling
Cut their
people I said
babies.
that.
They're gonna dig their heel in, and they've chosen. They're not gonna dig their heel in, and they've chosen to sacrifice it. I will dig my heel in.
Wow.
I will not kill my baby.
Really?
I'll kill him.
Tim, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Listen.
Okay.
I'm not doing it to the point where I would take off Shadow of the Erd Tree for it.
We're not
that's
doing
fine.
that.
That's fine. Listen.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's how
Yeah.
much I'm willing to fight for it.
Wait a second.
Like, I would cut Erd Tree before.
Holy
it.
shit.
Well, we're not going to put Shadow of the Earth.
No,
Tree.
I think,
So you're still in line at the bank.
I guess you are too.
I know.
I know, like, I mean, like, if this is the point where I have to make a case for it, I'll make the case for it.
Make the
But
case.
The case being,
Wait, let's
I
ask the
wanna hear
question.
the case.
Is this your game of the year?
no, it's not my game of the year.
Okay,
But
then it's gonna be an uphill battle.
It's in my top three.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I mean, I kind of like getting your one darling on there. I need to know it's your favorite game this year.
Tim, did you?
It's the most important game to me.
Sure, I get that.
That's the reason it is.
Tim, do you play you played through the whole thing already? Both
I
games?
played a decent chunk of both games, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's been out for like 4 days.
I know.
He got early code.
Oh, you got it
early, yeah.
They sent him like that first one that came off the assembly line.
You're like, let Tim test drive this.
000 Steam code.
Yeah, I
Test
mean,
drive
like,
this one.
Legacy of Kain, not a very well-known franchise. Soul Reaver, it had a small glimmer at its time, and since then it's just been forgotten. And it's like that franchise that's been like treated shitty its entire life. It's gone from like owner to owner, while others have been like pulled out of the vault, you know, reassessed and put back into the vault. Legacy of Kain has never even. Soul Reaver hasn't had that same kind of treatment. After they did it dirty with like Nosgoth and that kind of stuff, Soul Reaver, the world moved on from Soul Reaver. And the thing with that game is it's so good that the community exists and it has remained healthy, and they are a self-sustaining community. It's like Alcoholics Anonymous. Like we keep each other going in just for the hope of it. And this is a game that has had like an uphill struggle always. Yeah. It's never had its time in the light. When it came out, we weren't making like lists. No one ever was doing like, as far as I remember. Anyway,
It was just commandments back then.
What year was it?
Like 98,
I think
99.
No, I think it was later.
And when you say your meeting, like where?
What?
Like your meeting? I'm serious. Like where?
meeting?
Yeah, you talk about it being like AA.
That's a metaphor.
I understand. I know, but I'm serious because the community has to gather somewhere.
There's Legacy of Kain websites that people go
was a
to,
web link,
archives.
yeah.
There's YouTube videos. There's
Alleyways.
Discords and that kind of stuff.
YTMND.
Yeah, like no, we didn't award games their flowers in the way that we do now back then, right? And it is like a game that is so important to me and to a lot of people that I feel like right now is probably the only time that it will have, it has had past and present where it could get something. You know what I mean? And for all intents and purposes, it probably is going to die from here. It'll never be seen again because.
Well, so I was going to say that I know how much you love it. I want to know, because that's a lot of Warzone, how the game has been treated. What makes the games themselves
The game is as
worthy,
good today.
worthy of that love from the community.
It is as good today as it was back then, and with the new changes, if not better. It looks better. They added a new camera, like control, finite camera control more than anything. The thing that makes that game good is, and I'll say this and you'll be like, oh, of course. For me, it was my first Souls-like. It was the game the reason I love From Software is because of Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver.
It's like your origin story.
It's my origin game. That is the game that made me who I am as a gamer now. I think that the reason it's so good is because the writing is fucking out of this world. Like, it is. I wish that you could, like, more people had played it. Like, from the very first word, that fucking intro is. I was telling Dan about it later. It pops off.
It's really good.
So hard and then every line that is spoken is Shakespearean. They hired theater actors to give it the gravitas it needs. Those actors are either retired or dead now, and like they never got to be told like you fucking killed it, man. You were unbelievable. The dialogue in that game, the way it's delivered, the actual story. It's a game that looks like it's about vampires, but it's about like destiny. It's about your ability to take hold of yourself, how you can be manipulated by people you trust. It's also at the same time a time traveling game, a game about a necromancer, a game about literal how a soul can be used and abused and find a place within this world of its own. And it's in the framework of a game that looks like is very forgettable because we're looking back at it. It looks like just a platformer where you pick up some blocks, push it around. It was the first game that was doing a lot of that stuff. It's a game where you're in an environment, you go to an environment, you press a button, and Raziel moves his hands, and the entire environment, without loading, completely shifts. The geometry changes, not indeed by these days, by our measures now, it's not complicated. Like it's just some, vertices or whatever about moving. But back then, when you press that button and everything around you just changed, and you were like, this is a different game. This is a different level. It was jaw-dropping. And even now, when you do it, you're like, this is pretty fucking awesome. Like it's really cool. And then you think about it did it back then, and you're like, why wasn't this game treated the way it deserved to be treated? Like it did things that were so far ahead of its time and got nothing for it. And like I said, it probably is dead from here. Like I've not heard.
The one thing I want to, not push back against, but as someone likes retro games a lot and was there as game came out, like I don't know if I ever got that sense that like this game wasn't appreciated like at its time or still was. Right?
I don't think it was appreciated. I mean, it got some love because obviously there was some sequels.
Yeah.
But it's no one. When in the last 10 years have you ever heard someone say Legacy of Kain is really important to? Like it's one of the best written games ever.
I do, but I follow a lot of retro channels, a lot of retro YouTube things.
I mean, like, for a lot of people,
I'm deep into that.
Like I've been talking about it for years, and now people are like playing it and coming back to me and being like, I don't understand. Like I thought you were like doing the internet hype thing where you're like, you're a stand for this thing and you go overboard. But the stuff that you're saying is true. It is like really fucking good. And like now I feel like I've raised the expectations so high.
No, you're right, because I think it is a great game.
I think it has the greatest opening ever created for a video game. And I take that over every FromSoft game, every Metal Gear game, every game that I've played. I think the writing is top tier. It has an economy of words that is like beautiful. It is like every line is poetic, and it's not written to be pretentious either. It's not like while you're listening to these characters, you're like, "Fuck, I hate these fucking people." They are having conversations that are both understandable. When you hear them, you're like, the way he expressed that is crazy. There's this. You speak to Kain. Kain is like the antagonist of this game, the protagonist of the previous game. He had to make a decision, which was, do I sacrifice myself to save Nosgoth? Or do I not do that? And Kain is a fucking selfish dickhead. And he was like, I am not sacrificing myself. I'm going to let this world crumble and I will rule it. And then you play this game and you're Raziel, you've been betrayed by Kain, you're finding Kain. And then, not to spoil it, but as you go along, you start to realize Kain had something he was working towards. And there's way more going on than you realize. And as a player, the writing is so good that you only start to make the connections when Raziel does it. So it's not like a story that's predictable. It goes in some weird directions at times, but the way it presents and like the way it executes on the story, I don't think any game has had that kind of like good relationship between the way the characters speak, the way they evolve, the way they change, and how it unfolds in the end. Like it doesn't. These two games are probably, if I could like fire best written games, most enjoyable experiences onto the moon, so future generations could pick it up and try and make games based on these, that would be it. Like it would be one of those games. And it is, like I said, rudimentary. It's block puzzles. Combat's not great. It's early stuff where it's like, circling enemies and attacking them, waiting for your moments. Don't overcommit. All the FromSoft stuff, it's there. But it's also got some really fun ideas. Like vampires, you beat the shit out of them, they don't die. They'll just stand there in a stunned state. You give them enough time and they'll come back. And what you have to do is like, you have to pick them up, throw them in sunlight. You have to impale them. You have to throw them in water. And then if you let their souls, if you don't immediately or quickly reave their souls, another enemy could like eat it and become more powerful, or it could go back into the body and you can like it will be resurrected. It's got interesting mechanics that it hasn't been done yet, but that whole world is so rich. It's why I keep saying it's the IP with the most unrealized potential in all of games.
So,
yeah.
I think that, that I see everything you're saying, and especially about its importance to you and how it's like kind of been forgotten over time. Because you're right, like back in the day, it was on magazine covers and things like that, and then it just one that kind of died off, and you never really heard about again. But I feel like almost everything you just talked about, despite it being so important to you and all the stuff it was doing at the time, if this were a conversation about the best games of all time, I think all of that applies.
I agree.
I think that with it being best games of 2024, we look at other games, Thousand Year Door, the Castlevania Dominus Collection, which these are beloved games that weren't really remade. There's quality of life improvements and things like that. I think it's one thing if this got like a big this is like a RE4 remake situation where it's like a new game. Yeah. But I think we are looking at not a hidden gem, but a game from the past that is getting another light shine on it in 2024, like Castlevania Dominus, like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, with some quality of life improvements, the camera and things like that. But I just don't think
it's just
there are a lot of classic
It's
games.
just like right there, and it's like
because
it's a remaster that it's an okay remaster of really great games. That's where it like
I mean like I don't think of it in the same way that others do, so I understand that. Right. Like for me, it's not like, oh, this is a game that came out and compared to other games is good. I can't do that. This is like I got to see my friend one last time before he goes away forever. So I realize that's just for me though. So I get it. But this is the one thing that's going to be impossible. This is a franchise that has never got the respect it deserves. This was my attempt to at least get some of that.
Sure. You got its respect for sure. Yeah.
And maybe it comes back. Everything comes back. Freaking Okami's coming back, right?
Yeah. Anything could happen. Yeah. Anything could happen.
1000x resist, or 1000 times resist. Excuse me. Is it time now?
I think it's time to say Hecky Grace, hair to hair, to my sister in the sky. 1000.
Everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Square to sphere.
I get you.
Dan knows what I'm talking about.
I know.
Oh, yeah. You're going to make me cry, Jan.
1000 times resist would have been my #1 game of this year. Oh. It's my #2. Oh. If Metaphor ReFantazio didn't come out. 1000 times resist tells the story of somehow dealing with generational trauma and choosing what you bring with you to the next life and realizing that you are an amalgamation of all of your experiences. And even if you try and forget, you try to erase the bad parts and you only want to include the good parts, you need everything to be a complete version of you, because trying to do that erasing process and the deleting process of your soul or your being kind of erases who you are as a person. And not to get too personal, I'll get personal real later, but 1000 times resist, one of those games that really just like made me really just stop and examine of like, okay, cool, yeah, maybe I should make some like decisions on shit and really reflect on where I've been, where I want to go, and what I feel like defines me as a person. I don't think it's going to be enough compared to every other game on the Tiny Spoon already, but I'm glad that I've been able to be quiet enough for it to make it this far on the list.
That was my Arzette strategy.
So goodbye to 1000 times resist. Hecky Grace.
And we cut Persona 3 before.
We never
Arzette.
cut Persona 3.
Well, you said we cut it before Arzette, so I'm just counting that.
Wow, that dog gets Sean's Game of the Year.
Yeah, do you want to?
I'm joking.
You want to get on the pedestal that these two have been on?
Can we cut Arzette again?
I guess so Jerv can feel
Can't wait till Jerv plays it. It's his Game of the Year.
Wait, Nikki, can you put Arzette like 10 times in the
Yeah,
mouth?
for sure, absolutely.
Just so we can
in
cut
the
it.
mouth? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, you're swallowing it.
The thing is, Arzette is actually really good. It's just insane that he thought he'd be able to get it this far.
Got pretty far.
You
Thank
did.
you,
Good work.
Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. Oh, yeah. Get it down.
Good mouthful.
Why don't
want you to watch this.
No, I can't see it. I can't see it.
Look at it, Mike. Look at how red it is inside of the mouth.
Why are you doing this? Take a me instead. I don't know why I'm Italian.
Good Italian accent.
Come on, take a me.
Mia boy.
All right, Sean, take Persona 3 and take it out back.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
I'm not doing it. I'm putting my foot down.
This is your game of the year.
I have not finished Metaphor. I was desperately racing to try to before this discussion. I was trying on the airplane. I was trying past couple nights. Didn't happen. So I don't know how Metaphor, if it does, stick the landing at the end. So it is my number 2. Persona 3 Reload is my game of the year right now. Because, y'all, I've had a year. I have not talked about this publicly, but just stuff that I don't want to talk about still, I'm not going to. All I'll say is, in a year where I've gone through a lot of shit, I need to see some friends again. And Persona 3 Reload was revisiting friends in a better way than they've ever been. They fleshed out these characters and the journey that they take all the way to the end. And everything we talked about, a little spoilery, but everything we talked about at the end of that game, I was crying the whole night. And I need to see that game in the top 10 because I love it so, so much. And I'll do what I have to get on that top 10, Jeff.
Yep, sounds good. Let's cut Call of Duty then.
I'm not going to be like, hey, but the shooting's real good.
Fine,
all right, sure.
I think that makes sense. I think it makes sense to get rid of Call of Duty.
I mean, let's just put Persona 3. Let's put Persona 3 over there, and then let's just figure it out.
And we'll figure it out.
Wait, maybe we've got Infinite Wealth instead of Call of Duty?
I don't know why Infinite Wealth is.
Let's cut Infinite Wealth and Call of Duty. We'll put our Zep back on.
Okay, Mike, if we convince them to cut 2 more games, you get our Zet, I get 1,000 times. No. Okay?
Indiana Jones is racist. Can we say that? Is that one still fly?
That one was working for a while.
Yeah.
Keep going, Mike, keep going.
I like it.
Yeah,
I feel like Black Ops 6 and Infinite Wealth are kind of on the same level.
Yes.
I really like both those games a lot.
Yeah, which one do we like more?
Whereas the thing is,
kinda where
Infinite
we're at.
Wealth with the pacing and kind of the length and everything, and some things dragging, I did fall off after like 40 hours of that game, and I was loving it.
Yeah.
And then Call of Duty, I've only gotten more into.
Yes.
The more I play.
Yeah, we can cut Infinite Wealth. I think I might like it better than anybody.
There you go. There's the 10.
Like
We got it.
5.
We did it.
All right, and that's the order.
Yeah.
It's gonna be close to it. I'm saying.
Damn.
Okay, so let's read the tiny spoon.
Yeah.
This is not ordered. This is just how it is.
Yes.
Might be ordered.
But it kind of makes sense.
We did it.
Maybe like a few.
Some tweaks I would.
Okay,
here.
Okay, yes.
on
yes.
the tiny spoon, on their way into the mouth, we have Balatro, Astrobot, Metaphor ReFantasio, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Thank Goodness You're Here, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree, and Persona 3 Reload.
And that's how you eat. You take a big spoon,
Yeah.
you put it in a littler spoon, and then a tiny spoon, and in the mouth.
in the mouth, and you
Right
eat
below
the
that.
whole spoon.
Yeah, you go from like the left in.
Yeah.
Everybody's cereal goes like that.
Oh, you see that? And right below that, it says Spider Heck.
Okay, so we technically have a 10. Do we want to take a quick bricky
Yes.
break?
Yeah.
All right. Folks, stay tuned. We're going to crown and order the top 10 right after this. And we are back with the top 10. Now we've whittled everything down to the tiniest, most precious of spoons. It's encrusted with diamonds and pearls and a little bit of rust because we've left it in the sink. Don't leave your spoons in the sink, gosh darn it. And then we're going to take all these 10 games and we're going to make an order of them. And number 1 will be our game of the year for 2024. May I propose we take the top 3 here and just immediately push them over, and we'll
deal with
order
it
them in
later?
a second.
Yeah, do like controls.
They're in the mouth.
Oh, okay.
They're just
Okay.
kind of like sitting on the tongue.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
see.
It's
I
like when you get a crumb on your mustache.
How about the top 4? We leave Indiana
I was gonna
Jones
say-
at number 4.
No, not higher than 4. Come on.
I mean, Prince of
Actually, no,
Persia is
Prince of
gonna be real tough.
Yeah.
Better than a lot of these.
Okay. Then okay, just the top 3 then.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's start with the bottom. And
That's what we're doing. Yeah. We're putting the 3 over to deal with them
The
later,
tiny swings
and then we'll work from our way up from the bottom now. All right.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
ranked
Delete them from the
lower.
tiny spoon.
Now it's ranked.
Wait, are we getting rid of the tiny spoon?
So mouth is supposed to be just the number 1. We're
No. With the top, those 3, we're gonna.
we're trying to figure this out because we're moving them.
Right, so what's the question?
Do we want to order them in the mouth?
No, not those top 3. Not yet. We're gonna deal with those in a second, but move them over to the mouth. Those are not.
Wait, you
Well,
can
no. Why don't we just rank
If you make
the
a
tiny
combo,
spoon and that's it?
The tiny
it'll
spoon.
be easy.
What's the difference between the mouth and the tiny spoon?
Mouth is number 1. It's a joke, Mike. It's a metaphor.
The mouth is only number
The mouth
1?
is ranked, so I
We
don't-
never said that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. We were scheming while y'all were gone.
Yeah, that was never supposed to be number 1. Okay, we're just gonna order the list now.
okay. Okay.
Let's start with number 10.
Shadow of the Erd Tree.
I was going to say Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Yeah,
How about it?
I'm really glad it made it to us because it deserves that. That earlier conversation, I don't necessarily agree. Oh, it's not getting, doesn't count. But there's a little bit of me that's like, it's more Elden Ring, and that's great. And they did an incredible job with it, and it deserves so much recognition for that. But I only want to get it so many more flowers. Elden Ring has so many flowers. It's basically a garden
So
right
there's an
now.
argument to put it at 10.
Why is there a tummy now?
Well, that's where the games have to go.
Okay.
There's an argument to put it at 10, right?
Yeah.
Why is it at 10?
What I just
For
said.
what he just said.
He just said it's got far, and I don't want to give it any more credit.
Because in the context of this 10,
Yeah.
It's
In
10
context
games.
of this 10, Shadow of the Erd Tree is not better than Persona 3 Reload, which means a lot to him, but is a remake of the game.
So here's the thing. You two were yelling at me before about
What I'm
this.
saying is, there's a bunch of games on here that you could make a case for. Like Silent Hill 2 is amazing.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
So you two were yelling about this shit. If we are redefining what the top 10 means, then I'm sorry, Mike, the argument holds zero
so it
water.
has zero value.
I was agreeing with you. What are you talking about?
I only want to give it so many flowers. So it goes as high as
If
it
we're gonna
needs
treat it like a game,
if we are
let's
saying
treat it
this
like
is
a
the
game.
best gaming experience.
No.
You need to
It's
pick a lane, dude.
There is no, we don't. There is no defined anything here. We're feeling this out. It's our list. Hey, wait, real quick.
Yeah.
All this is made up, guys.
Yeah.
All of this is made up.
Listen, the moment I leave this room, I don't give a shit about any of these. I don't care about this list or
I
the
do
order.
care about this list, but it's also we're just making it up, and
Right.
and so we don't need to pick a lane, define anything.
The more important point of what I said is I do think it is ultimately more Elden Ring.
It's more
and that's
Elden
only
Ring.
so
No,
impressive to me.
but it's-
There you go.
Yeah.
You can say that.
You can
And
say
but that's
Persona
exactly
3.
what he meant.
Persona 3 is more Persona 3 from Persona 3 days.
I agree with
Silent
that.
Hill
I think
2 is
Persona
more
3 could
Silent
be a
Hill
9.
2 from Silent Hill 2. There's 2 remakes at least here that you could make a
Persona 3,
case. Like
who else
Elden
was
Ring
for
is
Persona 3?
Elden Ring is
the
50
top
hours
10.
of brand new content.
I'm agreeing with Tam on this. Like, I
Yeah,
think
like even I will say, like I
Persona
was just
3 at
trying to
10?
get into the top 10.
Then there we go. That sounds
That's
great.
right, I have no problem.
What we're doing here is we are ranking the quality regardless of anything else. So if Shadow of the Erd Tree is number one, it's number one.
There's nothing about quality.
It's our list, and
Yeah.
like rank quality regardless of anything else. No, it's like all these little things do matter, but they matter as much as they matter. Big,
Well,
small,
I'm
little.
using quality in the grand scheme. I'm not trying
the
to I'm not
experience
trying to
of it.
give a review score here. I'm saying we are deciding what we like the most. I'm just trying to say, if Shadow of the Erd Tree, if what we're doing here is like, it's eligible as much as anything else, there can just be zero qualifiers. Y'all need to discuss
I think
how
we
good
just,
is this
we
game.
just
you treat it
Erd
like it's a
Tree
game.
as if it started at the beginning of Erd Tree and ended
Yes.
with the last boss. It is like, forget about where it sits and what executables and stuff like
Yes.
that. I think it's just like, here is the Erd
No,
Tree.
and you
content.
can-
That's
you
all
can
I'm
make a
trying to make
case-
clear.
I
You
think
can
Persona
make a
3
case
at 10,
for like
and then,
it's.
yeah, go
And
on, sorry.
I'm fine with Persona 3 at 10.
You can make the observation that it is more Elden Ring, but you can't use that as a disqualifier
Right.
unless it is a negative. Are you saying that as a negative?
Yeah, you just need, what are you guys trying to say?
Yeah.
Negative only in the sense that Elden Ring was already a lot, and it was maybe most of that I needed. And I don't really mean that even as I say it. I'm glad we got more of it. But even here, especially towards the end, you can kind of see it taper off a bit. There were some biggish areas towards there, especially where those like furrowed hands were. They were very empty areas. There wasn't much
That
going.
was a stylistic decision. That's the point of that area.
There's also
Some
they're
of the
also
most
boring.
beautiful area, the Cerulean Coast.
Absolutely
and-
stunning.
yeah.
There's nothing that, like what you're saying is like we've had this kind of thing. Same applies to Call of Duty.
Do we want Shadow of the Erdtree even higher than 9? Is that what we're
I
saying?
mean, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it too, but okay, but we're saying
I agree with Tam on like Silent Hill 2 is like a really good remake. I would put Erdtree above Silent Hill 2
I would
for
put
sure.
it above Silent Hill 2. I'd put it above Call of Duty. That is scraped on by, and it is, again, more Call of Duty.
Okay.
Very good Call of Duty, but more Call of Duty.
Here's what I'll suggest then. We move Call of Duty to 10.
Yeah.
that's fine. Yes.
I would be okay with that too.
Ooh, look at Dan's grimace. Oof. You hate to see it.
I feel like I'm surprised to hear that because it seemed like numerous people were like surprised at how.
I like Call of Duty. I'm enjoying it a lot. If it disappeared tomorrow, I wouldn't think about it all that much.
Yeah, I'm okay with it
not on
being
that
10.
level.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
top 5 for me, but it's like, again, you're talking about my baby here, which is at number 1.
Sure.
So again,
Yeah, I don't know. I just like I am someone who like very much does not play online multiplayer games at all. So I feel like it's always like surprising to me when something is exceptional enough for me to really want to dive in and do that. Okay, I'm just going to play this for hours and
The last
and
time-
I'm going to I hate putting a headset on and playing games online. And
I've done that with you a bunch. What do you mean? Oh, I guess
bunch?
it was the last Call of Duty.
We do it when we're streaming, you know.
No, I mean the last time you
Oh, the
and I.
2019 one.
Yeah, we played.
that was the
a ton-
last
we
one.
played a ton of it together.
We played a good amount of that before, yeah. And then before that, it was many years before the other one, and so it's rare. And I think that this one is just so between like. I don't know. I think I even like the maps more than a lot of people do because some people were, criticizing that. And
Can you talk a little bit about the campaign? Because
Yeah,
we've talked a lot
so-
about the multiplayer on this.
Yeah. So the campaign I really loved. Both like the variety is the best I've ever seen in a Call of Duty because all of them, even though the individual games would have their things like okay, Advanced Warfare is the mech suit and Infinite Warfare is the space one. I feel like mission to mission, a lot of it had those games had the same tone throughout, especially the like Modern Warfare ones and certainly World War II.
Yes.
This is one where it's like I felt like I was going through like several Mission Impossible movies throughout
Sick.
this. Where it's just like huge, crazy set piece stuff, and it's not just the obvious military stuff. It starts with the standard, like, I think you're in Kuwait, it's a Gulf War. It's like, okay, yeah, this feels like your standard Call of Duty mission. But then there's ones where you're going through casinos, and the ones where you're going through, was it France with the, that's the early 90s where you get picked up in a van and Nine Inch
Yeah.
Nails is playing. Like, it really
like
sets
we mentioned, the
tone.
Hitman
Nine Inch
like
Nails
stuff
mentioned.
is very cool.
Activated.
Like, yeah.
Nine Inch Nails mentioned.
Yeah. So there's this huge variety, and then it even tries stuff with the format that you usually don't see, where there's a couple open areas. One of them is like standard desert, going around to outposts, kind of Far Cry style, but like open world Call of Duty, even if it's a pretty contained area. The other one is this very stealth focused thing where you're just on the ground. It's like this snowy military installation like Russia or something. You're sneaking around, getting passcodes and using like social stealth stuff and like talking to guards and having to like examine the photos and stuff in the background of his office to be like, oh yeah, you and the kids. Yeah, I get like things that you don't expect from a Call of Duty game at all. And every time it was doing that stuff, I was like, wow, this is so cool to see them really shake it up and make it feel like a fun spy caper than it is just like, hey, I'm going to Afghanistan and killing a bunch of soldiers.
Right.
Right. It's probably my favorite Call of Duty campaign ever, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Despite that, and you can correct me if I'm mischaracterizing how it happened, it did just kind of scrape in, didn't it?
What, to this top 10?
To the top 10?
No,
Was
I
it
think
like
there was
emphatically?
No, I think it was higher.
Was it
a lot of us
higher?
enjoyed it.
It was sort of like back
I'm just
here
trying to
we were
remember.
like,
Oh, yeah. I think it was. I think there was.
All right.
Thank goodness you're here at 10.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Thank goodness you're here.
Whoa.
That's an all y'all thing.
This is
You
one of the
can.
3 games that Jeff has played. Come on.
Yeah. my game of the year list is 6 games, man. Okay. No, I actually
And one
found
of
10.
them's Roblox.
I found 10. I found 10.
You found 10.
What is it?
I played 12 games and 10 of them.
So based off of the discussions we've had so far,
Yeah.
I think perhaps we'd put Thank Goodness You're Here at 10,
That's fine.
Persona at 9, Call of Duty at 8,
Elden Ring 7.
Elden Ring 7.
I would
Silent
like
Hill?
to discuss this a little more. As someone who has both Call of Duty and Persona in my top 5 of the year, Persona is such a higher number 1 than where Call of Duty is in the top 5 somewhere.
It's my 3. I mean, the thing is, it is tough to argue that, the way you talked about that, and it obviously was a very important thing for you this year. I don't want to sit here and tell you that because I thought the sniping was good or something that overrides your feelings on it.
But
It's still your feelings. The
Yeah.
gameplay
Well, yeah,
is
I'm not
gameplay.
but I enjoyed it in a way that I enjoy a really good video game.
Here's what we'll do. Silent Hill 8.
No.
Okay.
Again, one of
Listen,
3
Jane, that was
games
a
he's played.
good effort.
Where's Call of Duty go?
Lucy.
I think Call of Duty would have
Just
been
do
gone.
events. Just do
Taking
events.
pot shots from the floor.
Would that, wait, hold on. Is Silent Hill at 8 move Elden
No.
Ring up to 6, Call of Duty at 7?
Yeah.
You
I
guys
would like
really?
Silent Hill is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant. But like, I feel it is Silent Hill done again well.
Yeah, but I don't remember the first one.
I'm not. It's not my.
So fucking fair, dude. That is so fair.
I'm the oldest motherfucker here.
Wait, you can just do that? Oh, I forgot a lot of shit.
I hear to say something.
It's not ass. It's literally 20 years ago, man. You remember what you did 20 years ago? I sure
I
shit
remember
don't.
games I played 20 years ago. I argued for one earlier.
I think it was redone.
You played it since then.
Mikey.
Every year almost.
Yeah, okay, so 1 year. I'm talking 20.
I think it was redone exceptionally well, right? I think that the level of performance and acting they brought into
Yeah,
that
you could. Go
is
ahead,
very
Mike.
impressive, right? Like, I played the game originally, and maybe it was just who I was at that time. It hit me a little bit. It all hit me way more this time around.
It is. I think you could argue that it's like almost unrecognizable.
I don't think I could.
I just think like when I've seen that game, I like tried to go back to
I
it
get what you're trying to
back
say.
a
Yeah,
couple
I get what
years
you're trying to
ago,
say,
Yeah.
but
Where you're
also
just
it's-
like with that PC emulated version with like the hacked together graphics, and you're like, I guess I'm gonna fucking like budget ass my way through this game, and I bounced off it. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And I remember this getting announced. I'm like, oh, maybe it'll be all right.
Did it play okay for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it ran great for me.
I was one of those people who got the annoying hitching thing. That's why I've not
On
been able to
PC?
get through it. Yeah, it hitches like every 5 seconds.
Don't we
Yeah.
all have the same computer?
I know, that's the weirdest thing about it.
All of our CPUs are different.
Three of us
Interesting. So what's
Well,
up?
you know, we're not powered by anything anymore, right?
worse than my computer.
We're not powered anymore.
And it has that on consoles as well, I believe.
Oh,
like
really?
a couple of them, yeah. It's just like, it would, every 5 seconds, it would like hitch for like 2 or 3 frames.
as a
And it was like, I had to stop playing because I was like, this driving me. Yeah.
Can I make a proposal?
Yeah,
Sure.
Please.
And I've already put it in the computer.
Okay.
All right, so currently the proposed order would be 6 Call of Duty, 7 Silent Hill 2, Persona 3 at 8, Elden Ring at 9. Thank goodness you're here at 10.
Can we swap Elden Ring and Call of Duty?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
That's
the
what I
move.
was
I
going
think
to
that's the
100%.
Yeah, I think it's too high for Call of Duty.
Just Dan.
I mean, I love Bird Tree as well. I'm not.
Yeah, there you go. That's the move.
Dan, do you trust me
this up.
that Persona is better at being what it's trying to be than Call of Duty is at what it's trying to be? As
I feel
someone
like
who
that's
loves
like
both.
comparing like apples and Snickers.
But,
you know,
I'm saying I love both of these games.
I don't like chocolate that much.
It is not my list. It is our list. So I am trying to compromise here.
Yeah.
But I do think that Persona is a better game than Black Ops 6. I don't know how far that takes it with you guys.
I honestly, I think this looks right. I think Call of Duty at 9. I mean, normally the one game that like is the person's passion project getting higher than 9 is pretty tough. But you're getting on 8 and Call of Duty
Which
at 9.
I'm totally cool with.
That
Like,
looks,
if
this
that's
looks
the
right.
highest-
to me.
I mean, out of Persona 3, Erdtree, Silent Hill 2, Call of Duty is the one I like the least.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
You've played all of them.
And I would say, like,
Yeah.
the campaign, like, I understand the reasons it hit for you. It just didn't hit for me. I fell off.
Yeah, I mean, I played through the campaign. It's definitely doing interesting things with what you're doing as a Call of Duty game, but it feels like different shadow puppets trying to show
And I'm
me
Sure,
their
sure.
And
fingers.
I'm not one who's
It's the
got
same
like,
fingers,
I'm
different
not
shadow
one who's like
puppets.
we got to hold back the whole game because the campaign. Like I play Call of Duty for the multiplayer.
Sure, for sure.
But
Yeah.
And let me. I think I'm okay with this. I do want to know because we've talked a lot about remakes this time. Between
Yeah.
Legacy Kane and everything. Not knowing Persona that well.
Sure.
What is the level? Like, if you had to compare it to another remake, is this like a Twin
This
Snakes? Is this a?
This is.
Twin Snakes isn't terrible.
I would
Well, that's
say
what I'm saying.
it's.
That's like a. Yeah. Is this a straight port?
It's
Is
not
this like a Twin
RE4.
Snakes remake? Is this an RE4?
it's like a step down from RE4.
Yeah,
right?
I would say it's
Oh.
like just below RE4.
Oh,
It's
we've
not-
already been
it's
close
not
to
like-
that
It's really close.
It's not like,
Okay.
hang on,
That's what-
hang on. It's
come
not.
on.
It's not Resident
You're
Evil 2, where it's like, oh, this is the game completely reimagined.
Sure.
Resident Evil 4 is like the best version of Resident
Sure,
Evil
sure.
4. This is like a little below that, where it's
graphically,
like,
is it like quality of life
graphically,
stuff, all
yeah,
that?
hugely
New
stepped
voice
up.
stuff, music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
they
this is a
completely redid
extensive
voice.
remake.
It's an extensive remake. It's just
Mike,
extremely
do you disagree?
faithful.
Oh, I agree with the placement of like Persona 3 being above Call of Duty. I would maybe say 2 steps below, like, and how much of a remake of Resident Evil 4 is.
Well, yeah, like Gradient. It is like, yeah.
I think Thank Goodness You're Here is great.
Yeah, I do think, Lucy, I do think we kind of threw that.
Yeah.
I would say it's
Fuckers.
controversial. I'd put Thank Goodness You're Here above Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Persona 3 Reload, and Silent Hill 2.
I would, you know what? I would back you on that.
I would 100% do that.
Yep.
I feel
I
like
think that's
originality pushes it way higher.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is also,
It's very
it is
fair.
also very confident. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Genuinely funny. Transcends
They just put Call of
outside
Duty
of
back
the
in
British
Again,
Isles.
yeah, again.
Yeah.
You know what? I am fine with that because I do think that Thank Goodness You're Here deserves to be
Yeah,
boxed
it's-
quite
it's
a
a-
bit.
it's a-
So,
it's a-
yeah.
It all worked out in the end.
Yeah.
It's an unbelievable encapsulation of a
Yes.
culture.
Okay.
So Call of Duty is more Call of Duty. Let's
Yeah,
bring
read-
over
read the list.
1,000 Times
Okay,
Resist or
so
something.
no, let's not read the list because I think we can take what is currently sitting at 4 and 5 and move it over to the left so it is cemented at 4 and 5.
Well, we can have a conversation about which order they go in.
I'm surprised by that.
We can have a conversation what order they go in because I think these guys are disagreeing with that, and I'm willing to hear this because I don't know.
I'll also say what they are for the
Let's still
audio
read the
listeners.
stuff in the tiny spoon that's over there now.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
So, what is currently sitting at 4 and 5 on the tiny spoon that I'm suggesting to move into the mouth, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Can I?
I'm
In
surprised.
those positions,
Yes.
Maybe in those positions, maybe flipped.
I'm surprised. Like, I'm surprised that this group has would be okay with Prince of Persia.
I'm shocked. I'm also
that high.
I think it's a contender for one.
Yeah, Prince of Persia is in my top 3.
Yes.
so
Yeah, I think
my-
I might put Prince over Indy.
The one thing that we
okay.
have not.
I do
Wait,
think-
Let's see. Talk.
The one thing that we have not said about Prince of Persia that I think we're all glossing over is the fact that the story is absolute shite.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, true.
There's nothing going on there. Yeah.
It does. I
mean,
I like some of the characters, but I don't care.
This doesn't excuse it, but like I can't think of very many Metroidvania games that
That's true.
have a story that really means anything
Like,
to me.
what is that?
Shadow
Whereas
Complex.
I think-
Even something like Hollow Knight, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Whereas I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
Indiana Jones sticks all of that stuff.
I think you're right. This is where like the
Yeah.
argument is. Yes.
Yeah.
I do feel like this is one, like staring at this, I could see an argument for either one
Me
of them.
too.
They're both so
I could
fucking
too.
good at what they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lucy's totally right. The story is absolutely forgettable. It's just, it does every other Metroidvania
Yeah.
thing
I think the
incredibly well.
The escape hatch there is. I never felt like the story was getting in the way. All that.
Yeah, I didn't consider it, and not for a moment did I think I'm missing something here.
Yeah. Although
I mean, that's true, but I mean,
But you are right, 100%.
but like,
it's
to
a
be
core
fair,
part
if you're
of an
comparing
experience.
it against Indiana Jones, where I think there isn't a weak element of it, I'm looking for like.
I think Indiana Jones does have a weak element. I think those opening areas are too big, and there's too much. The things that you're doing are too routine. They are.
And none needs to find a book or
None
something.
needs to find
you
a
know?
book, and there's a lot of stuff like
They
that.
were the ramblings of a mad priest from the 1400s.
It's fun. It's like the first couple of times, and then the 10th to 11th time, it's like it is very samey. Now you get out of those areas eventually, and you could do less of that stuff if you want to. So some of it's in your control, but it is weak in terms of pacing early on.
What are you saying, Bacala?
Yeah. What are you freaking out about?
Just get behind me.
yeah.
He's still in line at the bank.
What's your problem?
It's closed now.
I thought you had played Indiana Jones.
I did. I haven't finished it, but I played
okay,
a good chunk to know what's going on.
Okay,
What's your thought?
What's your
No, I didn't. I was going to talk about like the stuff that's like trivial, like getting the book for the nun. I thought that, but I thought like it like was impressive how it made me feel like, oh, this is a thing that is very crucial to like the
it's his
current
fucking
sort of
job.
storyline there. Like as much as like Antonio's involved in all that too, like it's
They do a good job of couching that stuff.
Yeah, it
but
makes
it's like
it feel
I
important.
was just going
And
back and forth
the way
across
you-
the map.
Oh yeah,
doing nothing.
totally. The way
I mean,
and
like
it's
you're
all
going
like
back and forth in a Metroidvania.
Hey, yo.
it's
That's fun to move back and forth.
When you're going back and forth, you're jumping and.
for indies, it really worked out for him that place had a lot of scaffolding. I'm very happy.
He lucked out.
A lot of construction going on.
Here's some maneuvering. I think it may be presumptuous to assume that Balatro is in the top 3.
Maybe I will offer.
I think it's
Let me just test this. Metaphor at 5?
Nope.
No.
Oh, man, it was a good effort.
Wait, Grub's okay with it? Backlar's okay with
as
it?
someone who
will
did not play that.
I also did not play that. I'm okay with it.
I will suggest.
Yeah.
Good effort.
Thanks, I tried.
As someone who did not play that and was told to not play that.
So now you listen to it.
I will suggest. Thank goodness you're here at 1.
Yo, let's go.
Fucking go.
Arzette.
Oh my God.
No, okay.
Mike.
Stranger of Paradise.
Now we're talking. I was put it.
Let's hear it.
Suggest Astrobot 2.
Why?
Because then
I agree.
chaos will fucking
Okay, all right.
Okay, question.
Joker.
Yeah.
Do we think that the 3 we've been talking about are just top 3, and that is like, jokes aside, those are
I
top
haven't
3?
seen anything else moving around.
I mean, I
Yeah.
can see Metaphor moving, but other than that-
Obviously.
Straight up, I thought we were gonna land at Prince of Persia at like a 2 or 3.
That's what
I was
also.
hoping Prince
Interesting.
would be
Okay.
above Metaphor.
That's what I was gonna
That's
ask
what I
before.
thought.
Is how much is
I mean, I
Prince of
would love
Persia?
Prince of Persia to be at like 3.
Let me just test
finish.
something.
Hang on, let me finish. What I was trying to get at before is I was wondering if Prince of Persia is like another one of these 3 guys thing, or if it's all of us.
No, I love
likes
it.
it.
Yeah, I know, and the more we talked about it, so just making sure.
Let me do a test here real quick. Show of hands, and we'll say it for the audio listener. Who here would put Prince of Persia above Metaphor? That is 5.
He took it back. He took it back. Okay.
But I didn't play
Okay.
metaphors.
Heisman.
after
Heisman.
that. Okay.
Okay, me back on Nikki and Grub.
counts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's down to you. You're the deciding
You're the
vote,
breaker.
Menotti.
What? No, here's
It's
why.
not voting.
Here's why I say I wouldn't. I think that almost everyone seems to like Prince of Persia here, and there are some people here who do not care about Metaphor.
Yeah.
And look,
Yep.
neither of them, it seems like neither of them going to be number 1.
Right.
So, like,
Right.
if Metaphor's 5 or if it's 3, no.
At certain points, like we all have our ideas of where we think it should be. We have to also filter that through where it should be for Giant Bomb.
Yeah,
That's what we're trying to figure out. For
And like for me, Metaphor should be higher. But what Mikey's saying is for Giant Bomb, maybe Prince of Persia should be higher.
Yeah,
we
I
were
think that's right.
so like, and in a way where like my involvement with the website at the beginning of this year was different relative to my involvement with the website prior to me obviously being here, but like, so we were so fucking high on that video game.
Yes,
when
we
it
were.
came out at the beginning of this year.
I love it.
Prince of Persia?
Prince of
Yes.
Persia, yes.
It's 11 months ago, and sometimes it's hard to remember just exactly how it made you feel.
that. It's 20 years.
Yeah.
I hate that it was 11 months ago.
But it seems like we all like this Prince of Persia quite a bit.
Yeah.
If someone
like-
said Game of the Year, I would.
Yeah, so high on it, and we were all was surprised.
Hey,
out
should
of
we make it our
nowhere.
game of the year?
Listen, I would.
I don't
I
think
did
it's our
this
game.
last year. Like I put my Elden Ring aside. To say, like I think another
Maybe,
game
though.
is better, deserves it. This is where I start being like, I think it deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it deserves it partly because each one of the games underneath it have so much recognition
Yeah.
in all of our other awards and all
it's
of the
not just
other-
that.
And it's not just that.
Yeah.
At the same time, it is a incredible game that is only diminished by circumstances it has no control
Yeah.
over. Release date, other things. And Lucy's right. You play. Lucy is right. Lucy is right. The story sucks, but it's.
But it's a Metroidvania.
But no game feels better to play. No game feels better to play.
Not even that. It's that. Not even that. It's a Metroidvania. It's that everything else is so good that it elevates it beyond. It's not even a thought that you have while you're playing the game.
It's like the smoothest game ever.
Okay. Can I say something?
Please.
No.
Prince of Persia, Astro, Indie, Balatro, Metaphor.
Whoa.
Actually, I am okay with
I
that.
think we go one step at a time. I'm not. I think you're on to something here. Can we start with 5 Metaphor,
5 Metaphor.
4 Indie?
Yes, I think that
like
sounds
that.
right
I
to
like
me.
that. I like that.
It has always been 4 to me.
I'll take that. I love Metaphor, but it is like many Atlas games. The onboarding takes a while.
Yeah.
It takes a bit to
And it's
get
also a very good evolution of everything they've done before. There is
Exactly.
nothing about it that is like, oh damn, that is like a new awesome thing.
sure,
Like, it's a
but
very,
it's the best,
it's a very
so-
good.
Yeah, to give its flowers a little bit, like before we put it on that number 5, I think it does a lot of things better than almost any JRPG ever.
Yeah, but it couldn't do those without doing the other stuff.
And I'm
before
okay
it.
with like if people are fighting for it, Metaphor at 4, Indie at 5. Okay, but I don't think that's what's happening now.
Well, given like how everyone has been talking and like we've kind of been skirting around Metaphor, there's been more fervor with Indie, even though that came out so recently, and that's not
Indie's
even
got punching in the dick.
Yeah. Whoa! Don't do that to the protagonist.
Nazis in the dick.
They're fucking Nazis, and that's huge.
Oh, don't forget the Italian fascists.
It's a point against it. No.
Keeping in mind that this is Giant Bomb's list.
Sure.
We hate fascists.
Right.
Yeah.
And with that
Yes.
said, I do think we've got 1 to 3 correct.
Let's not go to
Yeah, hang on, so what's it, 5?
So 4 is Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
3 is Balatro.
Yes.
That feels good.
That feels good, yeah.
I think we can do that.
I think that sounds.
Oh, I
feel
was
like a-
so worried I was gonna have to like.
I thought it was going to be Game of the Year. So
I thought there was a very good
I just want to see
chance.
what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so proposed 3 is Balatro.
I like
I think
it.
I'm okay with that.
Proposed number 2 is Astrobot.
Wilson, listen.
Yeah, go ahead. We can all-
Everyone's got guns and they're like,
Jeff would be the one to start shooting.
I don't remember a game as popular as
Ever.
Astro
Yeah, you've
ever.
played a
Clearly, even stuff I played 2 months ago, let alone 20 years. I don't remember a game ever that came along, and I know Astrobot has gotten its flowers time and time again. It won Keeley's. It's ever right. I don't think I've seen a game impact this group
well, Nikki's had enough.
in the way that Astrobot did.
Yeah.
I would say like almost universally across the board here.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think, yeah.
I don't want to diminish it for what it
No.
is. A lot of that comes from us, from it activating nostalgia. And I don't want to.
See, I think that's a- that-
know. I
to me,
think
that's
it's an
like a
important
third or
part of
fourth
it.
thing.
I think no, for me, it's a big part of it, right?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
the platforming stuff is fun, but it is good platforming. Like
Yeah.
good, and other people have also done really good platforming.
Basically, just Mario on this level, I would say.
Yeah, it's the first game that feels like it's Nintendo quality
Yeah.
that isn't
Yep.
from Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
And but the stuff that I don't want to lose sight of the fact that there's some part of it that is like activating our nostalgia, which nostalgia being nostalgia pushes it so much higher just automatically just by being there. Like for me, it's like I see the Bloodborne Hunter. It's just there, and I'm like, this is fucking amazing. And then I go back to a level which is okay, sometimes cool, fun, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like
I think there's a million great ideas in Astrobot. I think it is.
Except Monkey Hands.
Except for Monkey Hands. I think the thing with Astrobot is it's so surprising because it is the one platformer that is on the level of Mario.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That got me. But I don't think I ever was sitting there being like, and that makes it so much better than everything else.
Yeah.
It is just like, oh, I'm so glad this exists and that Sony can do this now.
Yeah.
I felt very similar
Yeah.
about Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown this entire year.
Yeah.
And
Let me. Yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry, no. You go ahead.
I was going to say that Astrobot is probably, I haven't cemented it yet, but Astrobot is probably my #1 game of the year. You've heard me talk about it. I think it is
Right.
It's
one
my
of the
soup
best
there as well.
platformers of all time. Means a ton to me. Love that genre so much, and I don't say it's as good as Mario lightly.
Yeah.
But just taking the read of this room and the enthusiasm levels and everything, I kind of feel like there's maybe more for Prince of Persia.
I feel like really good about Prince of
It's
Persia.
fun, yeah, because I never thought it had a chance. I would have
didn't
always
even
been
consider that.
so happy if it did, but I just didn't think it could happen because I don't know. Again, I don't know if any game feels better. And like, I love Astrobot, and it might be my #1. And I felt that really when I saw it win at the Game Awards. And I was like, I don't know what my #1 is. And I realized how happy I was to see it win there. I'm like, oh, it probably is this. That game makes me just so happy. But no game makes me feel more alive, maybe, than Prince of Persia.
I agree.
No game feels like it has the spirit of Giant Bomb in the way that Giant Bomb has always been.
Story
and despite
kinda
what-
sucks.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it. Whatever.
and we're owned. This is like getting. We're owned by a corporation, whatever it may be, but like. This
Man is spitting.
this is a website that started as an underdog story, right? It's this little game, not even a little game. It's this game that was up against all odds, like Giant Bomb is, and everyone here gets behind that story. We're all here because that connected with us in so many ways, and it's the energy we put out there into the world as well in everything we do. Like we are trying to put that kind of like, we are underdogs, we're doing our best here, we're not trying to play by all the same rules, we have our way of doing things, and we're going to stick to our way of doing things, because once we start doing things that aren't entirely us, we're not Giant Bomb anymore. And for me, I look at that game, Prince of Persia, and I'm like, if we put that at #1, and then put out there, Prince of Persia: Lost Crown is Game of the Year, that in my mind is like the fucking most giant bomb ass move ever.
I agree.
It's like, somebody has to give this game the credit it deserves. Ubisoft isn't. Ubisoft like is moving the team onto other things already. They're already not going to make a sequel, even though that would have been amazing.
And before we like make any decisions, I think we should spend some time, a little bit of time, just talking about that game a bit. Give it its moment. Not so we just don't say like it's game of the year and move on. Like I think it is such a. It feels so good in that game, and like I talked about the combos as well, all that kind of stuff. I love hitting buttons. I'm a fighting game player, and oh my god, there's no game this year that makes hitting buttons feel better. And there's been fighting games out this year, and that game is unfucking believable.
Remember those little challenge rooms where like just the death machines are going everywhere?
When they make you play Celeste in the middle of the game, it's fucking bang.
And despite being 2D, it's the Devil May Cry.
Yeah. It's and then like maybe it doesn't hit for some people, but the style of the game, like that, it was bold. They got shit for it, and they took Prince of Persia in such a different direction that they made it striking. They gave Prince of Persia a personality that it hasn't had in many, many, many years, even when they tried to do it by making it cel-shaded. Like, this is a cool Prince of Persia game again. And there hasn't been one of those since Sands of Time.
This is an important point to me. Like, this game is optimized to hell, right? This game runs fantastic on Switch in a year where nothing runs well on Switch, right?
On Switch. It had the thing where, you know, everyone's favorite thing in every Metroidvania is like, oh, you get the double jump. And it's like, oh, shit, everything changed. I felt that like 7 different times. Like, every you get an upgrade, like, oh, shit, I can do that.
I got emotional when I got the double jump. That was going to be one of the best moments or sequence. I almost cried when I got the double jump because it was so good.
Yeah.
And it put it like much later in the game than you thought it would be. And so you get all this awesome, cool stuff you get to mess around with. I'm like, am I even going to get a double jump? And then you get it, and it's like, holy shit, this is what video games are supposed to be.
And the dash and a grapple.
Yes.
Like,
And then
a recall. And
the amount of times I've gone into a really big, tricky platforming thing, I've put one of my recall points down, and then like gone upwards it, and then reached like a middle point where I'm keep falling and stuff like that, and I'm like, fuck, how am I going to get this? And I get higher and take a jump and fuck it up, and I'm falling, and I'm like, oh, I'm so pissed off. And then on the fall, I'm like, I left the recall up there. You made your own feeling. Is like,
you made your own checkpoint.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember the boomerang chakram teleport? It's so good in this game.
It's fucking weird.
Taking pictures on the map is the smallest evolution of a Metroidvania.
You know what we haven't really done in the last few hours is actually talk about Balatro very much.
I think because like it has dominated so much.
It came out 14 times this year, so like,
I've played it every time.
Every time.
Balatro is going to be the game, I think, in 10 years I'm still playing the most. And there's definitely something to be said for that.
It's like, it's become, I think it's come out, and whether it gets out or not, but in my mind, it's like, it's become Peggle. Like, it just exists. Always, it's going to be like anything that gets released, it's going to be the future's Minesweeper. Like, it's going to be everywhere, and it's going to be as enjoyable years from now as it is today, because
it's a forever game now.
It is. It's going to be on everyone's phone.
It's part of the canon now.
It's part of the game.
It's in the DNA of video games.
But in a similar way, just like how my favorite Metroidvania is like Super Metroid Symphony of the Night, I'll go back to those every 5, or so years. I will be playing Prince of Persia.
I'm downloading on my Steam Deck again. I'm like talking about this. It's all coming back to me. It's like, I'm ready to play this again right now.
We have DLC.
DLC's good. It's more of that game, and it's
number 2, right?
So 2, and then 1,000 Times Resist.
Gang, I think we have a 10. I think we might.
Last chance for objections. I don't know.
I like this.
Agree?
Yes.
All right. So pull up the doc. I've listed names, and then we'll all read them together, all right?
Yes.
Your name is next to the game.
Wait, which doc? The spreadsheet?
The spreadsheet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goaty G.
Oh, wait.
You're number 6.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
You know.
Yeah. All right. Dan, if you could do us the honors by starting.
Number 10 is Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Number 9, Persona 3 Reload.
Number 8, Silent Hill 2.
Number 7, thank goodness you're here.
Number 6, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree.
Number 5, Metaphor Refantazio.
Number 4, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Number 3, Balatro.
Number 2, Astrobot, and all together.
Number one.
Prince of Persia Lost Crown.
Oh, I hate that.
Prince of Persia, you have now found your crown.
May all the quickness be forgot, and
You might not get to make a new one, but you made a fucking amazing game.
Giant Bombs
Listen.
Game of the Year.
I handed Dan a piece of paper 5 minutes ago.
Oh, is this why you're upset?
Not seeing it yet. I'm just reading
If it
this.
says Prince of Persia is number one,
Okay. It says number 3, Balatro. Ooh. Number 2, Prince of Persia.
that's a really good call.
One asterisk.
You almost had it.
Really good.
Wait,
Other people you work with.
wait, we had that other game where we were guessing Bacalar's Game of the Year. Can we find out? We can't find out now?
No, we can find out right now. Just say your game of the
What's your
year.
game of the
Game of the year.
I don't really know.
Pick one now.
It's Astrobot.
Yes, that was me.
I said that too, yes.
Number 2 is probably Silent Hill.
I got my phone, hang on.
Number 2 is Silent Hill.
Ah, it's close.
I went Indiana Jones because I thought you'd like the white colonizer thing.
I told you it was racist. And for number 4.
You said Astro, I said Call of Duty.
I thought it was going to be Bioshock.
You said
Atomic Heart, please.
I was like, I'm going to just say Astro, I'm going to say the same thing.
All right, folks. What a season! What a season! I wouldn't want to argue games with any other group than all y'all. I love all of you to death.
Ooh.
Why are you staring at me so intense?
Sorry, Dan. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us for all this stuff for GB at Night during the Game Awards, the countdown to the Game Awards. I hope you've enjoyed everything. I hope you've enjoyed Game of the Year days 1, 2, 3, and now 4 for 2024. That is Giant Bomb. We will see you in 2025. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ash. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you, Action Zach.
Thank you, Ash and Zach.
Zach.
Festive.